So, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to the Adventures of the Keep today. We are so glad to have you. We hope that you get to have some brief break from the chaos of the world today, or a distraction from whatever is happening around you, and just get to enjoy the time that we spend together. So thank you for coming with us. Oh gosh, it's been kind of crazy. I don't know about y'all, but these past few weeks have been absolutely insane, and I'm so grateful that we have this group. As always, we can just sort of muddle through, pull together, do our best as a group, as a community. And I hope that we continue to remind ourselves to evaluate our actions before we act, to think before we make snap decisions, and always, above all, remember to love our neighbors and to be kind to each other. Yay! We're all back today. Back, not actually at the table, but all back at the game. It is super exciting. I do hope everybody had a good holiday.
Yeah, it was short and busy.
Still alive.
Yeah, let's keep up that trend. I don't know about y'all, I really miss playing, and I'm so glad to be back. Like, above everything else, spending the time with y'all and being able to do this is just so good for my heart.
Oh, we love you too.
Oh, we think you're all right. Good way to start the show, guys.
Do we have any announcements or anything that we're going on today?
Well, I think I'm going to die first. I think that's what's going to happen.
I mean, I can always add more hit points to the enemies.
I don't believe we have anything.
No, I think we're good.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into the recap and pick up where we last left off. So when last we left our heroes, the 11th hour had received word from Rissa that Liren had been located. And with reassurance that Rissa would be able to bring them back to this same location here on Denegon so that they can retrieve the journal from the Underlord and complete their business here, they decided to go ahead and travel to another world to assist with Liren's rescue. Upon arrival, you spent a brief time planning with the other keepers and runners that were here to assist in this endeavor, agreeing that your group, the 11th hour, would be the ones to actually enter the sorceress's tower and to perform the rescue itself, while the other keeper and runners, minus Jazeera, the gnome ranger who would be leading your way in, would be the distraction. The outside, keeping the guards and any defenses active and focused out there to hopefully clear the path for you. So you passed through the sewers, narrowly avoiding an interesting encounter. You emerge into the ground floor of the tower, killing the lone guard left on the armory. You solved a puzzle to begin ascending through the tower. You found a number of experiments, including a number of black dragon eggs and wormlings in various stages of development, and a hidden passageway leading upstairs to a secret room where you heard the sounds of a child at play. Solyx spoke to the little girl using unpracticed and untypical manipulation. When that failed, Val attempted to utilize his charming magic to
manipulate.
Essentially. Both attempts failed, and the little girl, scared and calling for her mommy, turned into a young black dragon before your very eyes. As a group, you quickly attacked and killed the dragon, securing silence and passageway through this room. We're going to pick back up immediately after the battle. You have just pulled your compatriots out from the fallen form of the dragon. What are y'all going to do?
Real fast. I love that intro from a DM perspective versus a player perspective. That's a great way to go about this. Anyways, continue on.
So we just pulled everybody out from underneath it. And
I know that there were stairs in the back corner via the map. Have we noticed that yet? I can't remember.
You have not yet.
Okay.
You surmise that there is something there, but you haven't actually investigated the room at all.
Yeah, I'll start checking the room personally.
All right. Make an investigation check.
Oh, that's not my strong suit. Why am I doing this?
Can't do it.
Missed the box. Hey, yet another 9, but my investigation's not 10.
10. Okay, so you do you get a sense of the room. You're a little distracted by the swampy feel that's been created in here. It's kind of eerie, actually, and discomforting. You know you're inside, but it smells like a swamp. There's this sort of moistness and humidity in the air. You do manage to find behind sort of a curtain of vines a set of stairs leading down. And on your way back to the group to tell them of your discovery, you do find the toy that the little girl had been playing with. It's a little doll made mostly of rags, old and torn. But there is some script sewn onto it in rough and blocky, unpracticed letters. It's not, I don't believe it's in a language that you speak. What languages do you speak?
Common, Celestial, Draconic, and Elvish.
Oh, I am misinformed. This is a language you speak. These characters are in Draconic, and it reads Dresmina.
Dresmina. Oh, I need my notes. Where did those go? Dresmina. I don't think I recognize that. Okay. I will call to the group to let them know that there is a doorway over there, and I would like to take 2 of my empty vials and fill them up with acid from that little pool.
Okay. Make a dexterity check for me, just to make sure you don't burn yourself.
Rolling good today. What color is poison? Let's go thorn. That sounds good. Oh, that's a nat 2 for a 5.
For a 5. You do manage to fill your vials with acid. You do take 3 points of acid damage. Your fingers do slip into a little bit, and the stinging and burning is extremely unpleasant as it splashes up over your hand.
I'm sure it is. Is this like water viscosity, oil, thicker?
Like oil. Think like a vegetable oil or a canola oil, something of that nature.
Cool.
All right, while he's doing that, after we extricated everybody, Val's just gonna go kneel down by the dragon head. Just how big is this thing compared to us?
The body itself is not actually very tall. It's probably 10 or 12 feet long from tip of the nose to tip of the tail, and you get the sense that it would be a more intimidating presence, except the wings on this dragon's form are not well muscled. They're very atrophied, like they have not seen use hardly at all. So the muscles there are slimmer and not used. So it's a very sort of lithe, frail figure of the dragon. So maybe 4 feet tall, from legs to the back to the height of the shoulders.
Okay. Val's just gonna kneel down by her head, and place one of his symbols of sanding, basically around her neck. What's left of it after the crap we pulled last time, and say, "Sorry, little one, you didn't deserve them." And he's gonna get up and start making his way towards the exit.
Okay.
What is this room? Because is this like a swamp in a room?
Essentially, yeah. It's a room in the tower, and the stonework of the walls is consistent with the stonework you have seen through the rest of the tower. You emerge from a stone stairway into a room that is dimly lit, and there are vines that are growing from the ceiling to the floor that obscure a lot of the room. There's essentially an acid pit, sort of like a little pond, or it's raised a little bit, so you'd have to climb up to get into it. And there's a moist humidity that fills the air with this tangy sort of scent That reminds you very much of the brackish water of Stillwater.
Okay. I just find that the first thing I can just sit down and I do so.
Okay.
I'm gonna pull up my sending stone and contact Rissa.
What do you say?
Rissa, we've encountered a young girl, possibly who was able to turn into a dragon. Unfortunately, she didn't survive. How are things looking out there?
You get a response, and it starts with just a deep sort of exhalation. Alma's down, and Belle's not looking too good. They can keep the guards occupied for only a short time longer. Val, have you located Liren yet?
Unfortunately, not yet. We made it to what seems to be the top of the tower, but it looks like we're going to have to make our way back down through a separate passage. So we will hurry.
Keep me informed of your progress. If anything changes out here, I will let you know as soon as I may.
How long did it take us to get from the lab with the dragon in a jar up to where we are now?
The time you spent climbing, or the time you spent, including the time you spent wrestling with the secret bookcase?
No, just
including
the time climbing.
Okay. Solidly, you were minute and a half, 2 minutes climbing up a winding staircase. It wasn't a narrow turn, but it was a definite turn that you felt yourself making as you were ascending.
All right. I'm gonna go back to the where we came into this room.
Mm-hmm.
I'll turn to everybody. I'll be right back, and I'm gonna book it down the stairs, go down to that bookshelf, reclose it, relock it behind us, and then run back up.
Okay.
Just in case
You managed to go ahead and do that. You do get a little bit out of breath by the time you're racing yourself back up these stairs to emerge out into this room with everybody else. But yeah, you managed to take care of that.
I'm going to walk by Salix, hand him a potion. I've just got a regular common.
Oh, don't worry about that. I have potions here.
All right. And let's keep moving. I'm going to walk over to Doran, tap him on the shoulder. I understand, mate. I really do, but we've got to go. I'm gonna.
You're the dragon expert. Tell me that was just a dragon. Help me sleep better at night.
I'll tell you what it did to Salix over there, that was definitely dragon. I'm going to start walking towards the stairs. Say, I understand and you can be mad at me. That's all right.
Didn't say I was mad at you, mad at the situation.
Well, no, I understand that, but Liren's still here and we need to get her out now.
I kicked the shit out of the stump I was sitting on and get up and start going.
I'm going to move to the door and start checking for traps and moving my way down the stairs.
Right. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Nat 20 for 25.
Nice. You go, apart from the vines that are curtaining off the descending stairs, you don't find any traps in particular. What you do notice is that while the door into this room, the passageway into this room, was fairly untraveled, little used, not commonly traversed, there are signs of use a little bit from this room down the stairs. You get the sense that this passageway is used a little bit more frequently. So you go ahead and as a group, you all start descending the stairs. Jazeera is the last one out, and you guys kind of see her looking over her shoulder and then just sighing and following you.
And who is that, by the way?
Jazeera is she's one of the runners from the Sanctum. Y'all met her really early on, early days. Gribble hung out with her and Nubia, her partner, a little bit, and they taught him to swim. They were the gnomes, yes.
And Berta came from them.
Yes, Berta also came from them.
Yeah, we lost 3 people in the span of all this. Well, technically 4.
I'm gonna walk up.
Technically 5.
Yeah,
Wow.
I'm gonna walk up behind Solyak, and I'm gonna cast Death Ward on him.
Okay. You go ahead, you do that. Is that just an action, or is that what's the casting time on that?
Action. And
Okay,
it lasts for 8 hours.
Fabulous. So you head down the stairs, and there's it's a much shorter descent than it was an ascent to the room where you just were. You get the sense you're only going 1 story down, and it emerges into another room about the same size as the room you were in above it. The room itself is dark. But who's leading the way? All right, Halberd, what's your passive perception?
19.
19. As you are leading the way, you start hearing the sound of a soft rustling and a breathing, sort of a very heavy breathing, and you notice a slight increase in the temperature as you get closer to the door leading into this next room.
I would like to, I'm close to everybody. I'd like to cast Pass Without Trace and tell us to progress real quietly.
All right. As y'all are descending the stairway, go ahead and make stealth check.
Well,
Garrett, that was awesome.
no, it really wasn't.
Stealth check.
Stay. Dang. What are we doing?
Stealth check.
My babe.
But you get to add 10.
Wow.
Yeah, don't forget to add 10 because of Pass Without Trace.
That's such
All right,
garbage.
Celiax.
19.
19. Halberd.
31.
31. Val.
33.
23 or 33?
33.
33.
Thank
Woo.
you for that Pass Without Trace.
Doran.
15, but my other one was a natural 20.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh. Okay, Zator.
29.
9. And Jazeera. Oh, nice. Y'all don't hardly hear her feet hit the floor.
Nice.
Very quiet. So y'all head down, and as you come into this room, Halberd, you have dark vision, right?
Yes, I do.
So in the moment before you pass into the room, you see a dark shape, roughly humanoid, but
It's another little chop.
with odd proportions. It is a large shape.
Large chop.
And it is breathing. It is not moving. It looks like it's seated or curled onto the floor about midway through the room.
Crap?
Can I tell what it is?
Make a perception check.
26.
26. You see through the dim light, it is a large creature with vaguely humanoid, covered in a tanned gray leathery skin. You notice the ears that sort of flare off of its head are more like ear flaps, almost elephantine in nature. There is a series of long, tall spikes that run down its head, over its head, and down its neck. You see there is a jeweled circlet of some kind resting on its head, and a pseudopod, or a almost like a tentacle from reaching forward from its face. These shoulders are hunched over, almost gorilla-like, and the arms are hanging down, brushing the ground, ending in large clawed spikes almost. It is not a creature you are familiar with, nothing that you have seen before.
What have they done to Lirin?
She had a bad day. I'm going to motion for silence. Based on where it is in the floor, because I can't really tell. Am I able to walk around the side of it?
It is not occupying the entire width of the floor. If you wanted, you could try to walk around the side of it.
Just out of curiosity, is there a miniature for this one?
There is. I'm not going to have y'all get it just yet.
Okay.
Cool.
I want to curl it on.
I'm going to
Lauren, where would it? Because you said it's large technically for size.
Yes.
So
And situated roughly in the middle of the room.
There you go.
One other thing, Halberd.
mhm.
You don't know if this is part of the creature or something else entirely, but there are around the base of where the creature is at, there are at least one sort of pile of something dark and like covered with a jagged fur almost. A pile or two of that around where its feet would be.
Garrett, can you see the battle map?
So it's this large creature.
Sure, totally.
It's got like scales, humanoid-esque scales.
Not scales, but covered with a tanned, like gray leathery skin.
Okay,
Inch
tanned
square,
gray leathery skin.
long, but
And around its feet, it's got a furry creature.
It's hard to
Right.
tell if it's a separate creature or something connected to this creature at this point. You're still a little ways away, and it is very dark in here.
Real quick, Garrett, if you switch to speaker view and double click the map, it'll lock it into full screen with everybody else on the side, so you can actually see.
that's better.
Look at Jordan knowing how to technology.
Doesn't do it on my computer.
it's a fun thing.
I'm on a phone, so
I'm not. So, I'd like to. I'm just gonna motion back to be silent and try to work my way around the side of it. I don't want to disturb it.
Right. As you enter into the room, there is a flare of yellow light and
Yeah.
a series of arcane sigils glowing a dull yellow line the walls. The creature lifts its head up, glances around the room, and its eyes focus on you, where you're at in the doorway.
but he was so stealthy.
It stands. He was. And then he entered into the creature's lair. It stands, and you see its form is hunched, and you get a closer look, and you see two tusks protruding from its jaw and curling out, almost elephantine in nature. And actually, if y'all want to go ahead and get the mini out, I'll let y'all do that at this point. The two
Livingston, I
creatures
presume.
that it had curled at his feet raise their heads and look, and beady, eerily glowing red eyes focus on you and where you're at. There's a soft rumble that seems to permeate the air as the trunk of this creature now reaches out, and you see it flare as it's starting to scent the air. And a voice rumbles low and deep, just reverberating through the room, and it says, not the mistress nor her scion. not the guards or their assistants. You are interlopers.
Interlopers. I'm not loping anywhere. And I'm gonna wait for them to get back.
Stand by while we go track this thing down.
The one that y'all want is one of the covered ones that I gave with y'all last one. It's the number 1 mini.
Oh, okay.
And if y'all want to grab, now that you can see them, any hellhounds that we have.
Yep.
If we don't have hellhound minis, go ahead and grab blink dogs. That'll work.
Here, Jay. We do. Hold on. I think we do.
Whatever that's supposed to be.
Jordan, Garrett, did y'all get to see it?
See what?
The mini that they pulled out?
No.
Is it on the mat?
There we go.
Lauren, how many did you need for the
Of
hellhounds?
2.
2?
Sure.
Two.
Okay.
Oh, that's cool. Hey, when you don't have 3D, 2D works.
We use what we can.
Shadow Mastiff and a Death Dog.
Whatever works.
That is terrifying.
It's not Bino, yeah.
All right.
Solyex, as you, how close are you behind Halberd? Where are you in this lineup?
It goes Halberd, Kastor, Val, then me, Doran, and Gnome.
Okay, so you're a ways back. You haven't seen this yet.
Yes. But we are super bottlenecked inside this.
Oh no. I'm going to oh crap.
Yeah.
Reach back towards K4. Say interlopers, no. We were granted access through the young one's room.
Make a deception check.
Oh yeah.
That's how you roll a deception.
Modified 20.
Okay. The creature looks at you, looks up and down. You see its trunk reach out as it inhales again, scenting the air. Almost, you get the sense that it's tasting for a lie.
Can I
The smell of death, of blood and pain and misery.
yes, you've smelt my history. Do I carry that scent so strong?
The scent is strong, and it is fresh. You are granted access through the Scion's room. Bring her down and show her to me.
I do believe she gave me her doll as a token of passage.
I'll pull out the doll. We have come to see the mistress.
Make another deception check.
Me or Jordan?
Halberd, but because of his assistance, I'll go ahead and let you make it at advantage.
23.
23. All right. The child never lets this leave her sight. You say you come to see the mistress. The mistress is not here. Restore the doll to the child. If you truly wish the mistress, leave, be on your way.
Be on my way. I was told I must come through here, and that the child would stay and guard the way. I was not allowed to leave until I had made it through.
And what is it you seek? You say you seek for the mistress, and she is not here. I am bid guard this door from all who come.
I understand the position of a guard. That was my life many years. But guards must also understand, one as wise as yourself, that many times there are travelers who come, sometimes unknown, from different lands and different realms to offer aid in times of need and crisis. And while those who come to give aid would love to be able to give their plight to all, sometimes secrecy is the utmost benefit and the greatest weapon, both for us and for your master. I come not with hostility. I did not come to attack you. I've given you this token. I'm just following the instructions that I've been given to find the mistress that I seek.
There's a skepticism that you can see in this creature's features. Is it still just you in this room? Or has everybody else come down now too? What are y'all doing?
I
Wait,
think,
this goes down?
We can't get through unless Halberd moves out of the stairway. Is that right?
yeah, everyone's standing in the stairs, but Howard's the only one actually in the room. He's standing in the doorway. Everyone else is still in the stairwell.
I'm at the back. I don't even know what's up.
I'll step just slightly forward, not aggressive, just hands out to the side. Just still allowing him to smell and sniff the doll. And give a little bit of space. About 5 feet.
5 feet into the room or 5 feet from him?
Go down instead of this way, go this way.
Okay, so just 5 more feet in.
Okay. The creature's sort of trunk reaches out, scenting the air, smelling the doll. Is it still just Halberd in the room? Is anybody else coming down? What is everybody else doing while Halberd is talking?
I'd be right in the doorway right now holding the doll.
Okay.
I took that from you.
Oh.
That way he could smell it.
Let's see.
I didn't know.
Perception check. All right. As you hold out the doll, and especially as Kazator comes into the room, you see the nostrils flare, and the hellhounds at his feet. You do recognize the hellhounds, by the way, Halberd. In Kazator, you would have heard stories of such fiendish creatures like these. They start to growl as the nostrils flare, breathing in.
I think he likes my heritage.
You smell of the scion. You smell of her blood. What is happening? Speak true to me now. And you see the arcane sigils in the room flare from a yellow. They deepen and they darken to an orange. the next words that you speak determine your fate.
Is he talking to me or is he talking to Kestrel?
He's talking, his glance is flashing between the two of you. He's skeptical, but he seems to have taken what you have said at your word so far. But having smelt the blood of the scion, as he calls it, and the little doll, and knowing, as he said, that the doll never leaves the child, he is very uncertain.
The child simply hurt herself playing. I am a healer, and I took care and tended to her wound. After this was one of the reasons that she trusted us and lent us the doll in order to see the mistress.
Make a deception check.
Ooh.
Against his insight.
With these rolls, I don't trust any of these.
-4.
Oh gosh. Come back here.
Nat 20.
9.
9.
Rolled an 8.
He rolled a 21. As the words leave your mouth, the nostrils flare. The arcane sigils in the room deepen to red.
I would like to step 5 more feet out to the side.
You go ahead and you take a step. You come on into the room. As the hellhounds begin to growl and they start stalking their way forward, you see him trumpet into the air this creature that this large imposing creature, and he takes his massive front legs, he pounds the ground, trumpets into the air, and starts racing for you. I want everybody at this point to go ahead and roll initiative.
Oh God!
Freaking nice.
Oh,
Hey, natural 20.
not good.
That's not bad. That's not bad. That's good. Okay, switch the stairs to go low.
No, going low would have been nice.
Oh. Yeah, the opposite of that.
Yeah. This was not situationally good because I'm stuck.
Oh, you could slide. It's rough terrain to move through
That's true.
a neighbor.
All right, 25 to 20.
Natural 20.
Woo!
Nice.
So
For a total of
21.
What'd you guys have?
21. Doran.
I also had
Anyone else?
21.
Just stupid because I'm at the back of the line.
I had a
Val?
20.
20 halberd.
Mm.
Solyax, where are you at?
17.
17. Solyax. Kazator?
6.
Not gonna lie, that's kind of what I was going for.
He said 6, right?
Jazira. That is going to be... she's going right after Kazator.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, that was not a good roll for her. And he is going...
Oh, I was wrong. I have a 7. Like it matters.
Sounds so dejected.
I added my dex instead of my initiative.
Initiative is based on dexterity.
Yeah,
So,
dex is 3, initiative is 4.
Bard, he gets to add because Jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Yeah. All right.
Bard. Stupid.
I've been a multi-class doing bot now.
You gotta get roll 2 Bard, but then, yeah. That should be a Bard.
All right. First up is Doran and Val. What are the two of y'all doing?
I'm getting the frack out of the way.
So 10, 15,
Oh, no.
or 15?
Yeah.
15.
Okay.
Yeah.
You move 10, 15.
Yeah. 20, 25, 30. And I'm going to take a swing with my my scimitar.
Okay.
At the Hellhound.
Yeah. I'm gonna stab him in the butt. Nice. 17
Terrible
plus stuff.
For the Hellhounds?
Yes.
Hits.
All right.
What's the damage?
That's a very good question.
If y'all want to go ahead and roll your damage and to hit at the same time, so just so we can keep things moving a little bit faster, that'll be really helpful.
That is 8 points of slashing and 6 points of necrotic.
All right. All right, label them 1 and 2 for me.
Okay.
Yes.
It's obviously one. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Go by head. Number 2 took that damage.
All right, and what was that one more time?
8 slashing, 6 necrotic.
All right. 8 slashing, 6 necrotic. You impact the side of the Hellhound, opening up a gash along that side, and it seems to seep almost boiling like lava from its blood. Like the little drops that splatter down hiss as they hit the floor.
And that's all I got.
Okay. Doran?
You
I
can
mean, I'm
go-
at the back, right? And I haven't even come up the steps. So can I even do anything?
Yeah, you can pass through
Like, can I
your
push-
ally's space. You just can't end your turn in their space.
Yeah, you could.
Okay. Well, I got 25 movements, so
You can get just to there with your movement.
cool.
So you're
I
not.
can't reach anything.
No, you can't.
Keep in mind that another creature's space is difficult terrain.
I was counting that.
Okay, good deal. So, Doran, if you wanted to take your action to take more movement, you would be taking the dash action. So that would let you get into the room at least,
He can throw a hand axe from there if he has one.
if you wanted to.
Well, I'm in the room. What if I do? Well, shit. I'll go ahead and. Well, I won't be able to hit anything, but I can go ahead and dash and get in there so I can flank the thingy with him.
Okay, do you want to do the Hellhound or the big boy?
The big guy. Sure.
Okay.
So that way we can go ahead and get flanking set up.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
Then I want to use my. I want to go ahead and activate my hill rune.
Okay.
So I have resistance for a minute on bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing for a minute.
Okay, go ahead and keep that in mind. I'm going to have you, because it's your ability, you're going to help keep track of that.
Yeah. So starting from now.
All right, anything else?
That's like 10 turns, right? 10 full
Yeah.
cycles? Okay. So this will be number 0. All right. I don't know. I can't really do anything else. So, yeah, I guess that's it.
All right, Halberd, you're up.
Cool. Bonus action, Nightbane.
Yay!
Right there. He's so big.
And he's going to attack with his. Hold on. Ouch.
Careful.
I know, darn it. Multi-attack. And he's going to do his bite and claw attack
Is he doing the big
Okay,
guy or
roll
the-
to hit.
on the big guy. So he should have flanking with Doran.
Also, to clarify, I did take my shield out.
Okay.
Like, I got stuff.
You got your weapon in one hand, shield in the other, so you've got the bonus to your AC from the shield.
18 to hit.
18 hits. And what's the damage?
7 plus 4 is
11.
11, and he's got to make a strength check or be knocked prone.
And prone.
Yeah, that's a 25.
Thought so. Second.
He's strong boy.
Or excuse me, that's a saving throw, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a 30.
Cool.
Yeah.
Kind of thought so. A 19 to hit, and then that's going to be 9 points.
All right. One of the things you notice, while Nightbane is doing damage, the thick hide of this creature seems to be preventing some of that damage from getting to you. It's not as effective as Nightbane's attacks normally would be.
Cool.
What else?
It's probably stupid.
Howard's moving.
I'm going to pull out my +1 short swords, and I'm going to attack him.
Okay. Roll to hit.
It's going to be a 21 to hit on the Hellhound.
On a Hellhound. Yes, that hits.
And that's going to be 11, 13 plus 4 is what?
It would be +5 because it's +1.
Yes, 13,
Okay.
18 points. First attack.
18 on which one? 1 or 2?
2. And then that's going to be a 20 plus a lot to hit. And then that's an extra 7 points.
Nice. Right, the Hellhound yelps in pain as your swords do the damage to it. It is now the large creature's turn.
Oh god.
Who is closest to it?
Yeah.
All.
He's got Dorn right behind him, Halberd right in front of him, and Nightbane right in front of him.
This guy is going to he's going to move away 15 feet, take the attack of opportunity from anybody who wants it on him.
Is
So
he
who
moving-
all's going to do that?
That's
moving straight
bonus,
back?
right?
It's a reaction.
Oh,
Nightbane will.
sure. I'll take the thing. I missed.
Okay.
Nightbane rolled a 20 to hit with 11 points of damage.
Okay. Anyone else?
I wasn't close enough.
Halberd,
Okay.
I guess I could take it, couldn't I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you left.
If you want, it would take your reaction, so you wouldn't get another reaction until your next turn. But is that something you want to do?
Yeah. Nat 20.
Nat 20, that hits. Roll damage.
Not gonna be much, but that'll be 9 points.
9.
2.
2 doubles of 4.
Yeah, plus 5. Plus 1. Short sword.
Okay. This large creature trumps out again, stomps the ground, and then starts charging forward. He is going to charge at Halberd. That is going to be a 27 to hit.
So how far did he move forward? If he's charging forward, does he move through?
Basically he moved 15 feet away, came in and is now like slamming these tusks and goring at Halberd.
Okay.
So that 27 hits, and I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Nat 20.
Nat 20. That is a success. That's a total of 20 or more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you only take 33 piercing damage.
Oh, that's it? I could do this all day.
That's it.
Do not tempt fate.
He is also going to strike at you with his claws, which miss, and yes. What is that? Math. I cannot do this. He is going to who else is right there, you said?
Nightbane's right in front of him. And he's got Doran adjacent behind him.
Oh, so he put himself back in flank?
Essentially.
He
Okay
moved
with-
mechanics. There are
if
things he had to be able to do.
Because if he moves forward, he can't really move forward here 5 more feet because Nightbane's in that space.
Right.
So-
As long as he was within 10 feet of Halberd?
Yeah.
Okay. And then he's going to make another strike out, attempting to hit attempting to hit Nightbane. Nightbane's been doing some good damage to him. That is a 25 to hit.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, that is a 24 to hit.
There you go.
Jeez.
See, that made all the difference.
All the difference. And that is going to be 23 points of damage.
All right.
That is it for his turn. Solyax, you're up.
Okay, so I'm going to move up from 5, 15, 20, 25. I can now see him. So I am, for the first time ever, going to use my foreskin belt.
Nice.
And
As he comes into visual sight, I do want you to go ahead and make a religion check.
Religion check. Okay.
Oh.
No, that's a 1.
Yep, nope. This
Okay.
is a big old creature.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to dash at least half my movement and make a single melee attack as my bonus action.
Okay,
So
roll to hit.
dash forward here, and that's for 26.
That
Nice.
hits. The damage is
I'm going to dump a first level divine smite to this.
okay.
Be undead or fiend.
He is a fiend, yes.
Woo. Okay.
Ooh, nice.
Hold on. Gotta do some fast math here. That's 8. 5 is 13
Mhm.
plus 6. 13 plus 6 is 19 points of damage.
19.
All right, so that was my bonus action.
Uh-huh. And now your action.
My action, I'm gonna hit him twice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to
That
hit.
first one is a 19 plus 9, 28.
That hits.
The second one, those may not hit, is an 18.
That does hit.
Okay, and each one, I'm pumping another first level divine smite into each one of those.
Okay.
All the defaults.
19 plus 6, mentioned the 6.5.
Mhm.
25 for the first, and oh, some of this is radiant. Should I be separating that because I wasn't?
No, not radiant. You're fine.
Okay. and then 17 for the second.
17.
And that's
Okay.
all she wrote for me.
Awesome. The Hellhounds are up now. Who are they close to? I cannot tell on the map.
The number 1 is right in front of Nightbane, and then number 2
is
I mean,
he's got Halberd in front of him, me behind him.
well, and then he's got Dorn behind him,
Dorn.
and Solyax is pointed to him. He could hit him too.
All right. And the Malefont is right there in melee range with all the rest of y'all too, right?
Oh no, I'm within 10 feet too.
Or excuse
yeah.
me, the large creature.
If he has a
The big
10-foot
guy.
reach, then yes.
Yes.
Then yeah,
Elephant
one's
man.
in range for Quesador.
Okay.
Hairy elephant.
Number 1 is going to swing around to the other side of Nightbane. And in a 15-foot cone, I need Nightbane and who is that there? Is that Solyax? To go ahead and make dexterity saving throws.
Boo.
Nightbane's within 10 feet of, 10 feet of me, so he
Nat
gets
20.
+4 to that. That's not great. It's an 11 for me.
26
That is a fail.
for
That is a
Nightbane.
success for Nightbane. So Nightbane takes 11 points of fire damage. Solyax, because you failed, but you're fire resistant, you also take 11 points of fire damage. As the Hellhound inhales and then releases a jet of flame from its mouth.
So he's going to take half damage instead of takes no. So Nightbane takes no damage because if he's going to take an effect,
Evasion, right. Okay.
avoidance.
Yeah.
Basically, yeah.
That's fine. So Solyax takes 11 points of damage. The other one is going to... What? What did I miss?
Solyax is dead.
Dang it.
I'm sorry.
What
Go ahead.
happened?
Go ahead, we're just laughing at your Nightbane's whatever, Solyax is dead.
Solyax isn't dead. Not yet, at
I
least.
took a bunch of full potions.
The other Hellhound, can it shift itself to get at least 2 of y'all within a 15-foot cone?
It can do that without even leaving its spot.
Yeah, from where he's at, he could get Halberd, myself, and Nightbane again. Or
Right.
Or he can flip around and get me and Doran.
yeah, so he can get Halberd.
No. It's gonna get the guys that are closest that have been right up in their face.
Cool.
So Halberd and myself, I guess.
And if it gets Nightbane in there too,
Yeah.
I need dexterity saving throws again. You see these this Hellhound fixing to do essentially the same thing.
Rolled a 10, so
That's going to be a 25 for me and a 24 for Nightbane.
Ooh, I rolled good that time. Those are both successes. So Nightbane's evasion, is that forever or is that once round?
I think it's just forever.
it doesn't take his reaction. It's like evasion. It just reacts, I believe.
Okay.
That's just
So
his-
Nightbane's fine.
I'm not.
No, this one is he had a moment or two longer to prepare to really stoke the inner fires before he released his flame. It is 32 points of fire damage. Half because you succeed, so 16. Solyax, you are fire resistant. What was your 10? That is another fail. That is also 16.
Okay.
Yeah, get out of there.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
So this is fun.
So that was the Hellhounds. Kazator, you're up next.
Okay. Height of the room.
Not as tall as the previous one, about 12, 15 feet, something like that.
Okay. The light situation in here, is it dim light, dark?
Dim light.
Dim light.
Most of the light is coming from these arcane sigils on the wall that are still glowing a bright red.
Okay. Well, everybody's been attacking fine, so I'm going to go ahead and action to bring Jojo out. Was he out already?
Yeah, you
I
have.
brought him out in the
Yeah,
stairs.
you brought him out earlier.
That's right, so I don't have to do that. Well, heck, then I'll take my shots with the crossbow. I forgot he was out.
All right.
Okay, see what we got here. Boom.
Everybody.
That's gonna be, is that a 16? Yeah. So 22 and a lot less, 12.
22 hits, 12 does not.
Okay. And then I have to have all the different damage types.
You attacking the big boy?
Yeah.
Yay. Thunder.
6. The D4. Whoa, come back here. Oh, and actually, I forgot, I don't have flame arrows up or my celestial, so this is it. Okay, so my pluses are going to be, come on, tablet, work with me here. So that's going to be 6 piercing damage and 4 thunder damage.
Okay. As you release your thunder arrows, there is a loud bang reverberating through the room. This is the are you sure you had your hand crossbow, or had you attuned to the poisonwood bow? I'm trying to remember.
I do not have the poisonwood bow.
Okay, never mind then. So that is 2, and that is fine. So 10. All right, and anything else?
That, just to note that was one of my arrows with the silver wire on it.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. You do see it sink in about half the length of the arrow.
Cool. Movement. Get me out of the doorway, and I guess put me back up in the corner by the stairs. I'll just stay back there for now.
No,
Since it's crowded.
corner.
That's it for me.
Okay. Jazeera is up next. Little gnome, short little legs. Can she come into the room?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
5, 15, 20. Yeah.
Had the same problem I had.
15, 20, 25 gets her in the door.
Okay. She is going to take in the situation with really big eyes and pull out her crossbow, or not her crossbow, her short bow, and try and make her shot.
Worth a shot.
Pull up her stats here. That is a 16 to hit, which misses.
She threw away her shot.
Is she aiming at the big guy?
At the big guy, yes.
Yeah. So
He's a rogue, right?
Nope.
Ranger.
Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
He's a ranger. That's a little known fact.
Wow. I'm just pausing for a moment just to, wow. That was awful. That was so awful. Thank you. Moving on.
He's just cutting words to gnome.
No, he's just getting words to all of us.
All right. That is going to be... Yeah, that is going to be her... No, never mind. She gets a second attack. Oh, that's better.
Yeah.
That does hit. So she does hit with her second attack, and that is... you see another arrow sink into its form. It seems like it meets a little bit of resistance from just the natural hide, but does end up doing damage. She sort of looks over at y'all and looks back and Are we really doing this?
Apparently.
Poor thing seems a little bit overwhelmed.
For better
Moving
or worse.
on. Back to the top of the order. Doran and Val, you're up.
Hey,
Time out. Can we just take a second and take
No.
note? I intentionally attempted to avoid a fight. Does not happen often, but
No,
cool.
We tried. The dice.
you
just-
tried. You did try.
All right.
it'd be like that.
Be like that.
Oh,
Do
man,
be
this
like
is-
that,
this
though.
is not going well.
Kill me a dog.
Gold piece for trying, buddy.
Yes, I'm gonna toll the dead, and
Okay.
thanks to Reaper, I can hit both Hellhound number 2 and the elephant dude.
Okay.
That's wisdom saving throws on both of them.
That is a modified 20 on the Hellhound and a 17 on the big guy.
They both succeed.
You got flanking right there. Why didn't you?
Yeah, because I can hit 2 for 1 cantrip.
Yeah.
That is 22 points of damage. So cut in half, 11.
It's a cantrip. If it succeeds, it's a 0.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
So, it's a
Okay.
cantrip.
Sorry, I had the wrong one pulled up.
So they both succeed, so no damage, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
How does everybody look?
Ow.
Mm-hmm. That's a good
But I have
consensus.
Death Ward. He's really out.
I'm out.
Still down to 44.
Okay. Bonus action, because I cast a cantrip. Bonus action, mass healing word.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yay!
Nice having a cleric in the party.
I know.
Right.
Especially one that does cleric things.
Oh, nice.
Like a wizard without fireball.
That's fun. That's 9 points. That's max.
To who? All of us?
To up to 6 creatures. So
Oh, if you don't count the gnome.
Can I include Nightbane in that?
Creature.
yeah,
Thank you.
Don't count the gnome. We all get 9.
yeah. Gnome hasn't taken damage, so
This is true.
I'll gladly take an extra 9 points.
and that's all I got.
That's all she wrote.
All right, so Doran,
Hello. How
and
bad
then
does
Halberd, you're on deck.
Elephantman look?
He's taken a couple hits. He's still looking pretty good.
Okay. And then there's one of the wolfies that's next to me, right?
Yep.
How bad are the 2 doggos?
One of the doggos starting to look kind of rough. The other one hasn't been hit yet.
Oh, well.
And the one near us is the one that we've hit.
Oh, okay. Well,
Lay some smack down.
bonus to giant size. So I'm
Oh,
more
nice.
taller. No,
I
we
like
need
that.
dinosaur power now. So I got that going on for me, and that's an extra D6 of punchies.
Yeah.
So I guess
Yeah.
I'll deal with
That's fine.
the hell dog that's close to me.
You're in a hell.
First one, just strength added to it, right?
Strength
When
and
you roll to
proficiency.
hit, add strength and proficiency.
Okay, I always forget because I'm an idiot. All right, so 16, 5, so 21, so 24.
That hits.
Cool.
Very nice. What's the damage?
Slashing will be, well, if I can roll in the thing. So, 85. Math is hard. 14 slashing, 2 lightning. Because choppy.
14 slashing.
And then my next attack. Oh, am I counted flanking the doggo?
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, because I didn't think of that. I just rolled the first time. I got lucky. Second attack. Cool. So 19.
19 hits.
So
One thing you notice, the lightning damage.
Yes.
Never mind. Hellhound. Never mind. You're good. Is just as effective as you would expect it to be.
About that.
Keep going.
why you do me like this?
Lightning works.
Keep the lightning going.
I backswing with hammer. Smashy
side.
So then that's oh, I didn't add strength to my last attack.
You should do
Wait.
that.
Yeah, so another 5.
Okay.
So that would be the thing.
You missed
So-
a couple weeks. Forget how to
Man.
D&D.
I'm great at games. Then, so this time 16 bludgeoning and 1 lightning.
What was the roll to hit?
It was the what I say, like 16 or something? I don't
19.
remember.
You said 19. I wrote it down.
19. Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
16 and
And 1 lightning.
okay. As you swing your hammer into this, describe how you want to kill this thing, Garrett. This one's yours.
Violently.
That's
Yeah.
one.
Well, it's like a fire beastie, right? It's like a fire doggo.
Essentially, yeah.
I want it to like Death Star combust. I just want it to go poof. I want it to be like when Wile E. Coyote tries to catch the Roadrunner and it self implodes. I just
You
like
had seen
I hit it with
as you had
using that.
seen it use its fire breath, you'd seen sort of the area inside its chest where it had been inhaling and had this like internal furnace, and you lock on that. And even after the fires die away,
Yes.
you take your hammer, you line up your shot, you swing into it, and there is a little miniature explosion internally as this hellhound implodes. There is smoke and a little spurt of flame as it yelps out before it crashes down to the ground, collapsing where it's at.
So stupid. I love it so much. Like if I had my choice, my life would be like half action movie, half Looney Tunes cartoon. Great.
Oh, that's the
fair.
best way to do it, though. All right. Anything else on your turn?
Let's see. I did bonus to get taller,
Yep.
and I attacked. I could.
You can move if you want.
No, because I'm already flanking the elephantman. So I'm gonna stay where I'm at and save my action surge for later.
Okay.
But I'll just stare at him and just be like, "Ugh,"
Okay.
and look at him and just stick my tongue out, I guess. Be right back.
All right.
Getting a drink.
Halberd, you're up. You and Nightbane, what are you doing?
Nightbane's attacking. It's going to be an 18 to hit.
18 hits.
Okay.
On which one? The hellhound or the big guy?
The big guy.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
That's going to be 14 points on the first one, and the second one of his multi-attack is... I just keep rolling a 12 with Nightbane. That's the highest number I can get with advantage. So that's an 18 to hit,
Yeah, still hits.
and that's 10 points.
Okay.
I am 10 feet away, I guess, from the big guy. Is that where I'm at? 5 feet? What am I? Because I'm not.
You're in this way, so you're 5 feet. You're
Okay.
that's a big thing.
I'm going to use Zephyr Strike, the bonus action, and then with the extra movements place that I get with that and the movement without getting attack of opportunity, I'm going to move to the corner. I'm going to pull up my bow and I'm going to shoot him.
All right, roll to
With-
hit.
Hold on.
Directly in the eyeball.
With a freezing arrow.
That's cold, bro.
Oh, the puns are strong with y'all today.
That's what happens when I'm gone for a week.
I want better than an 18, but I'll take it. I rolled a 9.
That hits.
I know, darn it. I want it to sound cooler though. Like 1d4. D8.
Oh, you know what?
It's gonna see. It's 2 points of cold damage. And then 8, 7, that's 10, 17 plus 4, 21. 21 points of damage. 2 of that is cold, and 7 of that is force.
Okay, say that one more time. How much is cold?
2 points is cold,
Okay.
7 is force.
All right, all right, all right.
Then I'll take
Anything
my
else?
second shot.
Go for it. You do notice that the cold damage did not seem to be as effective as you've seen other things of that nature be on other creatures in the past.
Okay, and on a successful hit, the arrow does cold damage, and he has to make a DC 10 con save or be stunned / frozen until the beginning of his turn. So please not 1.
Nope, that's a modified 20.
Cool.
Or
But
Constitution, saving throw. No, sorry, that is a math. Not a hellhound. This is the big guy. That's a 30.
basically the same thing.
It's a success. Is what you
It's a
told me.
success.
Yes. All right, and I'll take my second attack.
Go for it.
That one.
Use the power of murder. That's Halvard's
Uh,
special element.
It glances off of the thick hide of this creature, just unable to really make impact.
Yeah.
Right. It is the big guy's turn. Who all is right there around it?
Doran,
Doran.
myself, and Nightbane.
You see it look around, and its beady red eyes are sort of taking in the situation. It starts reaching, so it's standing up on its back legs, and then it slams its legs down onto the ground. I need the 3 of y'all, Doran, Solix, and Nightbane, to make strength saving throws.
Hey, I'm good at those.
Did you say something?
But I'm not there.
I also have advantage.
Hey, add 4 to that, Doran.
I'm sorry?
4. You're
Oh,
within
I get
10
to
feet.
add 4? Dude, radical. That's awful. This is what I get for being braggadocious. All right.
14 for me.
Wow, I got a 16.
Okay.
So this is great. I got a 16, but with everything I get to add, I rolled a 3.
Nice. Very nice. What did Nightbane get?
19.
19. Nightbane manages to stay on his feet. The ground within this radius around this large creature starts to shake and tremble. Doran and Solix, y'all are both knocked prone.
Boo.
So you're on the ground.
Hurtful. So that was just to knock us on our butts, no damage?
That was just to knock y'all on your butts. Now that was his stomp.
Yeah.
He takes, because he gets to do his as part of his multi-attack.
Oh.
He takes his stomp. He reaches out with his tusks to gore Solix, and then he's going to claw at Doran.
I don't like that.
Crap. Lauren,
Yes.
is he rolling at advantage because I'm prone?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to use a warding flare, which gives him disadvantage.
Okay, so straight roll for.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And I'm just gonna look at him and give him the finger because I can't do shit.
16.
Can you all look at each other?
28. 28 for the claws on Doran. That is going to be 17 points of slashing damage. For the
I'm
gore
resistant.
attack, you are straight roll. That is a natural 15, so that is a 27.
Yep.
That is going to be 23 points of piercing damage.
Okay.
As he reaches out and tries to skewer you up onto his tusks.
Rude. With my resistance, that's half of 17.
Yes. So cut that down to 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then it is going to use its movement to back away 15, 20 feet away from Doran. So back towards the other stairway that y'all can sort of see leading in the corner.
So he's going to go.
Right there.
About 20
Yeah,
feet.
that's right. You covered run.
That is just fine.
As he runs, I would like to take a attack at disadvantage on him.
Go for it. If y'all want to get your attacks of opportunity, now's the time to do it.
Mhm.
Ew, I'll do that.
Actually, not quite against the wall. Have him a little bit up. There you go.
Yeah, that only
So-
puts him like 5 feet away from Doran.
Is this
That's
attack of
okay.
opportunity like at disadvantage or anything? or is
Actually-
it just normal?
If you're prone, actually go ahead and leave him in melee range of Doran. That'll be fine.
Okay.
So Doran doesn't.
Oh, good.
He's just doing like a little step around.
I rolled an 18.
18 hits.
I'm-
Nightbane, is Nightbane getting an attack of opportunity?
Yep, but he missed.
Okay. Roll the damage on that.
But is this
Uh,
a straight roll or what? I don't
You're
know.
not getting an attack of opportunity because he didn't actually end up leaving your melee range.
Oh, never
14
mind.
points of damage.
14. All right. You notice that the damage that has been done to him has been superficial for the most part up to this point. Something about how you managed to get your sword, because is it your sword or your axe?
Axe.
Solyax. Okay. Something about how you managed to get the blade of your axe manages to dig in a wide line deep along his ankle, like where his Achilles tendon sort of is. It's the first sort of major wound y'all have seen on this far. He is starting to look like he's ouching.
Yay! Take that, elephant man.
Cute Elfarilla.
All right, that is going to be
You
his
dang.
turn. Solyax, you're up.
He's a
Hey, half my movement to stand up.
What the hell happened? What thing's doing? I'm worried about you.
Okay. I'll be worried about me.
What are you doing, Solyax?
5, 10, 15 gets me right up next to it.
Do it.
That's 25 to hit.
That hits.
Dumping another first level defense smite. And that is greater than me. 10, 19. That's 22 points of damage.
Nice.
Very good.
2.
And,
All right.
Uh,
Second attack.
an attack. That's a natural 1.
Ouch.
That does miss.
Nope.
You
And
get your first attack into the air as you've gotten your momentum up and you've been rushing forward to try and attack it. you make contact on your first hit, but you go to hit it a second time, and your balance is just not off. Your stance is not set, so you miss.
And as a bonus action, I'm casting Sanctuary on myself.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Go ahead and keep that in mind for yourself.
Yep.
Anything else?
That's it for me.
All right. It is the Hellhound's turn, and it does get its breath weapon back.
At
Yay! That's what we wanted.
least nobody's close
Yes,
enough.
the only thing within 15 feet of it is lightning. Once it moves.
Which you could do.
Mm. That's great.
Having seen how slippery Nightbane was before, the Hellhound is going to sort of skirt around it, coming up
Coward.
and going to try and get other way. Going to get Siliex and Doran in the cone that it can get there. Can it
Perfect.
stay in Nightbane's range and get both of them, or does
Yep.
it need to leave Nightbane's range?
No, it can.
It can. Mm.
Okay, so it's going to sort of duck around, sight on the two.
He
Right.
would at
Heading
this
out.
angle. What's his movement speed?
50.
Oh.
He's, I don't know if this matters, but he's gonna hit the elephant thing as well. He can't really get to us because of the cone. He can't hit myself without also getting the elephant.
Ha 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 ha.
Unless he leaves Nightbane.
No, that's fine. He's going to get him.
Ha!
Go ahead and dexterity saving throws.
Oh boy.
You get +4.
Oh good. 15.
10.
The 10 is a fail. The 15 is a success.
Woo!
Roll 66.
Yeah. This is gonna end well.
25. Fire resistance and success. So that is going to be 12 points of fire damage each.
Huzzah.
I can do this all day.
Would y'all stop tempting fate?
Wow.
That is
That's
going to
less
be
than
the Hellhound's turn.
I don't like this dog of yours, Lauren.
He's such a good boy.
Well, that's perspective talking.
I think we need to old yeller this thing.
And as y'all have seen, as it's inhaling and preparing, the light from the fire as it's preparing to be expelled from its body is showing multiple layers of teeth within its mouth and a long sort of forked tongue, bifurcated, that you can see briefly as it's preparing to open its jaws to exhale at you, as spews this jet of flame out. It does succeed on its save, so he takes the half damage also. All right. Good deal. Wait,
She didn't care that her killing one of
that
her other
is also
creatures.
going to
This thing
be-
has a lot of health, I bet. Yay!
You'll notice that the flame dancing over the large creature's body doesn't seem to have much effect. I mean, there's a slight
We haven't
singeing,
found.
but not as much as could happen.
We haven't typed yet.
Kazator, you are up.
As per
What are you
usual,
doing, sir?
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Fantastic. I have a feeling I know, but I'm hopeful. With the 12 to 15 foot ceiling, if
Yes.
Jojo has a 30, that much of a shallow dive and he's at least 30 feet away, can his dive attack work, or does it have to be more vertical than that? Does a 30-foot like running start count, or does it need to be more like downward, basically?
I'm pulling up JoJo's stats. Give me just a moment
Absolutely.
so that I can see the exact text.
Cool.
No, I'll let it happen.
Cool. So 30 foot straight towards. Okay, so then I believe I'm about 40 feet away. I'm gonna move 1 square south, 1 square west, and then JoJo is gonna fly in to the big guy with the talon attack and try to hit with that. So let's roll for hit. That's a 12.
12 does not hit.
Okay. He will use his nimble action to disengage and fly back to me.
Okay.
And then I am going to cast heat metal on the silver wire on my bolt.
Is that something you have to be able to see?
Probably.
Do you have dark vision?
Yes.
Okay. So real quick for me, just go ahead and make a perception check. Make sure you can actually sight on the metal in the bolt of a creature that has moved away from you.
20.
Yep, you're fine. Totally fine. You can see it. Go ahead and use the heat metal.
Okay, so I cast heat metal. That is, if my tablet will cooperate, there we go. Marking off spell slot. Come here.
That's 2d8 fire damage.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just gonna. We'll just keep it second level. So yeah, 2d8. Where are my d8s? That's gonna be 10 fire damage. Not too bad. I'm assuming that is not as effective as I'm used to.
Indeed, it is not. What was the total again?
Total of 10. So that's movement, action, and JoJo. So bonus action. I'll just go ahead and I'll go ahead and just light the flame tongue.
Okay.
I haven't done that yet. And that will be,
Well, not that it doesn't work, it's not as good.
Yeah, it's half extra damage. Anyway, that's it for me.
Okay. Jazeera is up. She's going to try and hit with her short bow again, and that is 3 and a 7. That is going to be not enough. No, not enough. So she takes 2 shots, and they both push. Unable to really get a sense in the very dim light in here of where the target truly is. Doran and Val, you're up. Howard, you're on deck.
Doran's,
what is he doing?
Or not Doran, Val's running around. 15, 20, 25, 30? Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Val's flanking. Right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And Val is going to cast the Mother of All Inflict Wounds on this thing.
Go for it.
Natural 20!
Oh my
Nice.
That's a lot of make-believe damage that we're about to do, so...
Yeah, it is.
Now for him, this can't be reduced, right?
No, it can't. He has no resistance whatsoever.
Nope.
It is 6d10.
Double.
Doubled, yes.
Here's 3. If you
Wow.
need some details.
Now I got him.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Please roll about 6 10s.
7, 6, 7. 7, 6, 7. So 14, 20.
20.
Okay. And then the other 6. Is that a 9 or that's a 6? 9, 6, and 3.
9, 6, and 3.
18.
18.
38.
76
70.
total.
Yeah, 76.
Go.
Boom.
76 points
Necrotic
of
damage.
you damage.
Hold up. I am pulling up a calculator for this.
That's all my fourth levels, guys. Sorry.
Ooh. Where are you touching him? Just for my reference.
I mean, he's a big boy, so yeah, we're gonna necrotic his left butt cheek.
All right. As you reach out and the necrotic energy forms an eerie glow around your hand, you reach out and touch it and inflict this wound on him. And he is literally rotting from your touch. The liquefying skin and muscle and sinew just starts to drip from this wound, creating a puddle on the floor, skidding under his feet, where as he's trying to keep his balance, he does succeed in remaining standing, but ow. Oh, this is a nasty wound. He's looking rough.
He'll be fine.
Yeah.
God. You also
Oh,
rolled really.
yeah.
Anything else, Val? That was movement and action. Anything else?
No, I don't have a bonus action thing I can do. No, that's it. That's all I got.
All right, Doran,
All right, well, I'll stand up. I'm
take half
still,
your movement.
yeah. Well, I mean, I don't. Can I reach him from where I'm at?
Yeah. You guys base to
Okay.
base.
Does it still count as flanking with Val, or nah?
They're kind of.
Either way, I'm gonna hit him.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of catty cornered. Sorry, bro.
That's fine. I
So
just want
straight
to.
rolls, just go ahead and hit.
I just want to know what's going on. All right, so
Jordan's gonna get all of them. They're all his.
15 plus 8.
23, that does hit. Roll damage.
Go with.
So pissed.
Let's go with choppies. So.
All three of these are gonna end up being Doran's.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Welcome back. These are all yours.
So 14 choppy, 5 lightning,
Dang, good roll.
Nice.
and then
Nice. Still standing.
Son
second
of a
attack.
biscuit.
I gave him to go down.
Math is hard. Oh yeah, modified 20. Okay, cool.
Hits.
I thought so. Also choppy. I'm gonna use my savage attacker to re-roll that because it was garbage. That was decently better. So 10 slashing, 4 lightning. How's he look?
Real rough, but still standing.
And I will use action surge because YOLO. I don't like this person anymore.
I almost like you're hewing a tree trunk. You are taking your axe and slamming it into him over and over, and you can see it's starting to have a significant effect on him. He is nearly done. What's
Cool.
your next
This
hit?
next one was a 22.
That hits. The damage was
Not yet rolled. That was, well, okay. 17 slashing, 6 lightning.
This one's yours.
this one is yours.
Yes!
Did I
How's the-
do it?
You did it. You did it.
Oh.
Yay for me.
Describe the kill. Lay the scene for us.
Well, I imagine it was happening while he was being like dissolved by Val, so it's probably messy. And there's just like gushy pieces of gushy grossness just going splat on the ground.
Essentially, yeah, as the necrotic mess of his left leg is dripping and just sloughing off of him, you're hitting into him from the right side, almost taking his leg completely off. The gore and the viscera from your hits are spraying across the room. including
Yes.
getting Val a little bit on the other side of him from where he'd been right up against him. So Val's white leathers, his white is no longer nearly as white as it was.
Free action to shake the goo off my axe, and then
Walk over to the hellhound and hit it.
right. Can I do that? I got enough movement,
You
and
got
I
enough
still have
movement.
that
Yeah.
last attack, right?
You got
Yeah.
You've got 10 feet of movement left. You've got one more attack. You can do it if
Right.
you want to try.
If
Yeah,
I
you
can
can
get there, I
just get
want to
there.
do it.
Go for it.
Roll for ouch. That was a 13.
13 does not hit. You're trying to get over. You slip a little bit in the blood and viscera
I
that's
slip on the
floor.
goo.
A little bit. So you whiff on the attack, but you're right there in its face now. Halberd, you are
Alright.
up.
I'll be in my trailer, guys.
Bonus action dash.
Go for it.
that gives flanking to Nightbane and myself. And then I'm gonna hit him with my short sword.
Stabby, stabby. Go for it.
I'm gonna hit him with my short sword again.
Swing and a miss.
There you go. That's better. That's gonna be a 24 to hit.
That does hit.
It's gonna be
Did it
15
much,
plus
man.
5, 20 points of damage.
Hit it good.
20 points. Whew. Very nice, very nice. You slice into the thick bristled fur of this hellhound.
And then Nightbane will go ahead and attack. He'll do his bite and claw attack.
Go for it.
Gonna be a 25 to hit.
That hits.
That's gonna be 7 plus 4 is 11. And he's gonna need to make a strength check. You're not
That is a
prone.
natural 20.
Strike again. That's going to be a 15 to hit.
15 just hits.
Heyo.
10
10 points.
points.
Nice.
Nice.
Swipes out with the claws, opens up a series of gashes along his side, still standing.
Alright.
Silyax,
Uh-huh.
you are up.
There's
What are
not
you
a lot
doing?
of room on this guy's luggage. So. 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm flanking with the dwarf.
Yeah.
This one is gonna be mine. Ooh, yeah. 25
Yep.
to hit, and that's
Damages.
13 points of damage.
Nice. Still up.
And 24 to hit.
Yep.
If I really want the kill for myself, can I cutting word Silyax?
And yes, we'll waste that. Another 13 points of damage.
Silyax, this one is yours.
Finally!
Oh,
Alright, so breathing real
Describe the
hard,
scene.
heavily wounded. Gonna run over to it and just go, I'm very tired of all of you. Stop breathing on me. And I will just start hacking at it over and over and just start chopping it down until there's nothing left of the little dog.
Right. Overcome with the emotion of this time and the trial that you have been through, you release all of your frustration and anger on this this creature, this evil fiend. You're very familiar with the sort of fiendish nature of these things, and you wail on it, you bisect the head, and you cleave through the spine on the first hit. The head starts to loll down, and you take your swing back, and you swing a second time, just completely decapitating it. There's a spray of hot blood that flashes over the people around you. There is a mess on the floor. You're panting, you're breathing hard, you look around. It is still dimly lit, but it is now quiet. What are y'all doing?
Oh, that was exhausting.
Gonna put my hand on his shoulder and say, "Are you all right there, friend?" And I will use a second level cure wounds.
I'm still standing, so things are going all right.
That up real
But
fast.
if we don't rest soon, I don't know how much more of this we'll have in us. I know I am almost completely spent.
I'd like to start checking out the runes around the room.
Points.
12.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
want to look
making-
at the runes too.
The both of you go ahead and make Arcana checks.
I'm gonna
I'm
go stay
better.
down for a minute.
Okay. You can sit for just a
Hey!
minute while they're looking through this.
18.
20.
18,
Modified.
20. Nice. So y'all are taking a couple of minutes to look through the runes. They're obviously magical in nature, and they seem to have some sort of not just luminescent property, but almost some sort of alarm or warning sign designed to interact with the denizens of this room. And it's hard to make out some of the script and some of the nature of the writings, but you do find, especially Kazator, in your studies, there's a binding element to this, the arcane sigils here. It seems whatever creature was here was bound here for a purpose and was not free to leave until it was absolved of that function.
I think we helped it absolve its purpose.
Do either of y'all read Infernal?
I have
Ooh, I know curse words.
I have 2 tick marks on being taught Infernal from Rye.
From Rye, right.
And me, I also taught you.
And so you helped,
Yes.
yes. So you can recognize that there's some infernal script mixed in here as part of the binding. As you're focused on this, make one more Arcana check for me. Arcana or History, I'll let you pick.
They are the same. That is another modified 20.
Okay.
Who was
You
that
get
earlier?
the sense that the creature that was bound here was bound with the use of its name. And that something about the infernal script here describes that.
Okay. Couple of things. One, when we were talking to him, the colors seemed to reflect its mood. They were red, I know, at the end. What color did they go when he died?
They are still red.
Go red. Number 2, I would like to take out the Veritas Folio and compare any script there to the binding spell in this room.
Ooh.
Okay. How long are you wanting to spend doing this? Because this is a fairly cursory, just a couple of minutes.
Yes.
If y'all are wanting to spend some time to actually investigate this further, you can definitely do that. But it's going to take a little bit of time to
Okay.
nitpick and get into that level of depth.
And I will say this. I'm just going to speak the name Dresvina and see if anything happens.
You look around you as you speak. Nothing seems to change.
Try to say it in I'll say it in Celestial, Draconic, Elvish, and Infernal. And maybe it's the same thing in all those. I don't know.
There are very similar sounds. There's a slight accent based on the language and the formation of it there, but nothing in particular seems to change.
Okay.
Can I, while they're doing this, look at the body of the beast that we slayed, killed, destroyed, mutilated, obliterated,
Yeah,
whatever?
I'm gonna help him with that.
Seeing if there's any type of symbols, markings, anything on it, a collar or a leash, anything that might have a name.
As you investigate the body of this creature, you realize that it has very quickly started basically turning to goo. That the essence of the creature has decomposed and is very quickly not maintaining a physical essence here. It does leave behind the circlet that it had been wearing.
Did it leave behind its tusks?
It did not, no.
Darn it. All right, I'll take this circlet.
Fiends them to return to their infernal.
You
or
have
different
taken
planes.
it and you're immediately cursed.
Well, How faint of them.
So just
Do we have?
Do I recognize anything about the circlet? Is there any?
we have, I would honestly, if you attempting to cast a heal,
Yeah.
we need to
Your
take
boy's gonna go sit down next to Salix.
I'm
10 is
break
the
time.
max that we have to
Are we taking a
All
short
right.
rest?
No.
No. I'm gonna.
Well, I'm still gonna go sit down anyway.
Right.
Go ahead. Sorry, Lauren.
The headband, the circlet that you pull from it is finely worked metal. There are a few jewels that are set into it, and they seem to be of decent quality. It is beautifully made.
Anything like a name on it?
Nothing that you can see, no inscriptions, no name.
Property of Charlie.
Kistor, how long does it take you to identify an object?
Ideally 10 minutes. I could do it in 1 if necessary.
Here's my thought. It'll take me 10 minutes to say a prayer and call healing energy down on us. During that time, if you can identify the circlet and what it does, that would be excellent. I think it would be, we're far enough into this that we can call Rissa and their distraction off and save as many lives as we can.
I agree. I think we need to take the 10 minutes, but no more. We cannot afford to rest much longer, but I myself need 10 minutes.
All right, I'm going to pull out the sending stone and call Rissa real quick.
Okay. What do you say?
I'm telling Rissa, this is taking too long. Pull your people out. We'll handle the rest by ourselves.
Safe as we can.
Are you sure? If we pull back now, they could very well return to the tower quickly.
That is all right. We can handle ourselves. We have escape strategies. Pull your people out. Save as many lives as you can.
I will pass the message on. Be safe. Be well. Let us know when you find Liren.
Will do. And then I will start prayer healing.
Howard,
Okay.
can you read some type of trap along the entranceway up here?
Do we all have to be in proximity of him, or?
That's what I'm checking real quick.
Because if not, I'm just going to station guards.
What's happening? I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Put you in the center of the room.
Yeah.
Jazira, if you don't mind watching the staircase we just came from,
I can do that, yes.
I will guard this back staircase and start looking and examining it.
Garrett, Val is going to be he's casting a healing spell on all of us, so we're taking.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You're welcome, Boo.
While he does prayer of healing, I'm going to cast Identify in 1 minute and spend the other 9 looking at the sigils and comparing them to the Veritas Folio.
Okay. So you cast
30.
Identify on the headband, and you discover it is, in fact, a headband of intellect. You know that while wearing or while attuned to this item, it raises your intelligence up to a certain level. And if your intelligence is already above that, it just has no effect.
Give it to the dwarf!
The dwarf?
I mean, I'm real dumb. I could use that.
All of his stuff is based on intelligence.
yeah. Yep.
Doran, doesn't all of your runes and things that you do, is that not come from your intellect?
Hold on.
So yes.
Yeah.
I'll answer that for you. That's your, yes, it's based on your intelligence.
Yeah,
That might be.
they are, and I'm still trying to figure it out half the time.
Does that thing require attunement?
It does, yes.
So
I got nothing anyway, so.
Put it on your head.
I will give it to Doran.
Right. So Doran, after you attune to this headband, after you attune to the circlet, your intelligence score will be 19.
So wait, I'm going from 8 to 19?
Yeah.
Brad.
Wow.
Jordan just got
Told you I'm
really
dumb. I got a
smart.
-1.
How long does it take to attune?
An hour. And it's
Man,
an
I can
hour
do
that
that
you
now.
spend studying it and aligning your
Holy
energies with
shit.
it.
All right, hold on.
Don't
I got
take
some
the next
stats to change, baby.
Jordan
Yeah.
just got really smart.
Well, he will when he has an
Jordan's
hour
got a lot more
to attune to it.
powerful.
Right now,
You've got to attune to it first. So you can do it over a short rest. If you spend your rest focusing on it and sort of learning about it and aligning your energies with it, or you can take it and do it over a long rest just passively.
I put it on and whatever happens, it do the thing. I want it.
Okay, so
We're
you're
not taking
wearing
a-
it, but you
We're
don't.
not taking
you-
a short rest.
No, you
not
don't get
getting
any
that yet.
benefit from it right now, but you have it and you are wearing it. And it looks very dashing.
Yes.
like a princess. Also, everybody takes 20 points of healing.
I don't care if it looks like a princess tiara. I'm smarter now. Shush your face.
20 points of healing, Garrett.
Hey-o.
And then
Thank
also
you.
another
Hi,
9
super.
minutes.
Appreciate that.
Do what?
Also 9 minutes.
Said
Okay.
20?
Yeah.
2-0? Okay.
Okay, so Tori, go ahead and roll one more. Roll
Huh?
Arcana.
Me?
No, Kazador.
Okay. I'm gonna make sure. I'm having a hard time hearing y'all. I'm sorry. I apologize.
7.
Technology's being poopy.
You have identified some of the arcane sigils that cross over. You've surmised the purpose of the binding agent in this particular room was to sort of keep whatever fiendish element here until it had completed its task or was released. You aren't really able to glean a whole lot more than that, other than you can see some of the writings and some of the similarities that they both fall into this sort of binding the type of magic that it crosses over. With some more time investigating or looking at these, you could probably make some more connections. You think there's something there, you just haven't quite reached it yet.
Okay.
Jordan, do I see the infernal scribings on the wall?
I hit
Do you?
I had said
Or
earlier
are you?
if I couldn't read them, that I was gonna since Soliex had taught me, I would grab him.
Okay. So yeah, Kazator brings you over, and you can spend a couple minutes looking at it. Make an Arcana check, Soliex.
Okay.
Finding some of these infernal elements within the arcane sigils.
Arcana, that's a 17.
17. Yeah, so you do start to translate some of it, and it's a little bit hard going because so much of the infernal is mixed in with the actual arcane language you don't quite understand. You get the gist of it. You do find out that this type of fiend was a devilish fiend and was called a Malefant. That this particular type of devil is not usually very intelligent, that their purpose, it seemed, is to guard or to be protectors of some space or some item. And so a lot of the arcane sigils here are calling on that sort of heritage and that sort of purpose behind them to bind it and to complete that here.
How do you spell that name, Lauren?
Maelephanт.
Okay.
I believe if we're ready to go, it would be best if we continue on. I also think it would be probably beneficial to have someone immediately behind Kasator, like a tank, someone who could put a hard hit
I
down.
volunteer as tribute.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Right?
I'm gonna progress, and I'm gonna ask Kasador to keep his eye out as I move forward too, looking for traps of magical nature.
Okay.
I'm gonna put Nightbane back in.
Good deal, good deal. You progress down the stairs, down the passageway.
Mhm.
You leave the light behind. As you enter this dimly lit stairwell, there is no light coming from in front of you. There is no sound. It's just silent. It is still. Go ahead and make me an investigation check looking for traps on your way
pull
down.
out when it goes dark, pull out the hooded lantern so that it provides some light.
Okay. So it provides some dim light.
22 on the investigation check.
22. You are almost at the opening where it leads to another large room. And you see from the light of the hooded lantern a glimmer and a reflecting off of metal. A bright, shining treasure trove opens up in the room before you. And right before you're about to take that last step off of the stairs and into the room, you see, wait, there's something different about the stonework here. There's something not quite right.
Do I recognize stuff because dwarf?
How far back are you?
I'm gonna bring him to the
Well,
front.
I'm with Casator, so
It
wherever
goes
he is.
Halberd, Casator, Doran.
So, I'm right up
Okay,
his
so
butt.
you can squeeze up if y'all are careful and shift things around. It'll take you a little bit of a minute to get up there.
Is it that narrow?
I mean, you can squeeze around, but it's y'all standing next to each other are going to be shoulder and shoulder, sort of tight packed in against the walls. It's not a really wide staircase.
Okay.
So you come to the front, Doran, and you see the stonework and how it's been sort of cleverly carved to disguise where there are some grooves and some shadows, and it seems like there's something that can emerge from the wall here if it's not disarmed or if some unwary person comes and just blasts on through. You realize what caught your focus is the level of wear on this step is different, where there's been a very steady and consistent pattern of wear through the rest of these steps. Halberd, your keen elf eyes had seen, people don't normally pass and step here. You get a sense that there's probably some sort of pressure plate or motion detector or something of that nature that is designed to act as an alarm for some sort of trap.
So, Legends of the Hidden Temple much?
Right.
But I can't tell what it is that is a trap.
You get the sense that there's something hidden in the wall that is designed when this trap is triggered to come out, to emerge from the wall. You don't see a mechanical trigger for it.
What?
Cool.
Well, I'm gonna ask Casator if he notes any magical presence about it.
And then I'll get out of their way.
Doesn't someone, I can look, but I believe someone in our party can actually detect that? Or yeah.
Yeah. Also running low on spell slots.
Here, well,
Let me see what I can ascertain, and if I can't tell, then go to you.
That's true. I didn't think about that. We can take time, and I can do that.
Let me look at it first and see what I can see.
We have the time to waste, though.
It's another 10.
I'll take a look at it, Lauren.
Okay. So what are you wanting to do?
So okay, Halberd, when Halberd points this out to me, what do I see?
You see where you can see where the grooves in the wall have some sort of probably some sort of propelled weapon that is designed to spring out when this trap is triggered.
Uh-huh.
Go ahead and make a perception check.
Okay. Modified 20.
Modified 20. You don't see anything mechanical that would cause this to spring. You get the sense that maybe there's some sort of arcane sensor here that is likely to be triggered for the trap, but you're not seeing exactly what it is at this point.
Okay.
I have Dispel Magic.
Well, I had Dispel Magic. I was talking about Detect Magic.
Yeah, I've got Detect, I've got Find Traps, I've got Dispel. But if we've already figured out that it's magical, let's just go ahead and dispel the magic.
My question is, you have to choose a creature, object, or magical effect. Can we target it right now?
I mean, we're both proficient in arcane. Lauren, would we know that?
You'll get the sense that if you target it for an alarm for a specific trap or some sort of triggering mechanism,
okay.
Even if you can't see exactly where it's at, you'd probably be able to dispel that.
I feel like I have fairly well rested, plenty of capability for the day. I can do it.
Okay.
So I will cast Dispel Magic.
All right. There's a brief flash of light as under the lip of the step, there had been some runes that you figure had probably been the sensor for when anything had passed within a certain distance of them that would alarm the trap, and that has been dispelled.
I appreciate that, Quesator. Keeping these squishies alive is quite exhausting.
Yes.
I haven't taken damage, so I don't know who you're talking about.
I think you and I are the only ones that haven't taken damage.
I'm going to continue forward, still looking, being very cautious. You said we're in a treasure room?
Yes. There is a pathway that is sort of marked out. There is a sloping, like, slanting piles of gold and silver pieces and a couple copper thrown in there, but mostly gold and silver. And there are crystals and gems. There are little statuettes, little scrolls and pieces of artwork. There's, this is a veritable hoard.
I love how the first thing we all do is look at Wesley.
There's a bunch of gold in the room.
I'm going to look at everyone and then key in on our dragon friend. Dragonborn, do not touch or take any of it.
Touch nothing but
this is not for us. If we take it, we might spell our doom.
Read up a
Move
Buddhist.
on to the bigger prize at the other side.
Right.
We can always come back.
Lauren,
Yes.
looking at this collection, do I just, from my feral instinct, my lizard brain, does this remind me of, would this make me think that this is somebody's hoard? That this is a dragon's hoard?
Yeah, I'll give that one to you. This is very reminiscent of a collection or hoard of some kind. While you've never seen a dragon's hoard in your studies, this is exactly what you would have imagined it looked like.
Knowing that we are tracking the black dragons all over, we've seen it, dragon hoard, what do I know, if anything, and Howard may be able to help me with this, what do we know about black dragon hordes specifically? How do they guard their hordes?
You know that there are typically guardians. If the dragon is not there to guard it itself in its home or its lair, there's typically some sort of assigned guardian. It's a little odd because black dragons usually live in a swamp, and this is a tower. This is a building, so it's a little weird for you. As far as black dragons themselves,
do I know them to be casters, would they curse their horde? Would they do, like, if we were to accident, like, not even take anything, but accidentally touch something? Do I have any idea? Are they clever enough to be casters, or would they not do that?
It is uncommon for dragons to be casters. It's possible, but it's a fairly rare event. You know that they are extremely possessive, that they are, especially black dragons, they are vicious and feral and incredibly greedy with insatiable appetite. You know that it would not be out of the realm of possibility for it to have cursed or have some sort of protections on the horde itself.
Should we walk through here, detect magic?
Honestly, I would rather this.
I'm more worried about crossing another sigil.
There's a clear path in front of us. Yes.
There's a path. Yes.
Once again, there was a clear path through the last room as well.
No. Yes. I cannot do it unless we take 10.
We might better take 10 minutes and be safe than rush through here and face another.
The more 10-minute rest we take, the less safe we are on the return journey. Right now, we know that the mistress is not home, but I don't look for that to stay the same, especially with all the trouble that we've been causing in this place.
I agree. I mean, if you guys want to proceed forward, however, just keep your keen eye out. You're in it now.
We don't regret this time.
I agree. Everyone, let's
And we just killed her child.
keep dispersion. Keep 10 feet between all of us as we move through this. Do not touch
We just-
anything. Be careful not to accidentally kick any gold. Watch where you're step. Keep a minimum of 10 feet dispersion. No more than 20 as we move through. Howard, you're going to go first. Then we'll have K-Support follow behind. Doran with his tank.
Stay in the order we are.
Right, Jazeera, what do you know? What is your specialty? You're a ranger, yes?
I am. Yes. I tended to specialize in the sorts of creatures we already fought, the fiendish nature.
Okay.
I'm afraid anything like this is far beyond me.
That's fine.
I'd rather get in and get out. Let's not fight this thing.
Right.
Well,
Well,
desire to.
let's go quietly, smoothly, quickly.
I'd like to be looking for arcane symbols, sigils, and just traps in general, and kind of pointing out where if there's any treasure on the pathway.
Okay.
I'm going to have Jojo perched on Halberd's shoulder and keeping an eye out as well, because he has keen sight and smell and dark vision.
Okay. So those of y'all who are keeping an eye out, especially, go ahead and make perception checks.
25 for Jojo.
26 for Halberd.
Okay. You do see that there is some areas where the treasure has just piled in there various coins or items that are cast over the walkway. As you're going through, you do find one more spot where there is some sort of arcane symbol, some writing or sigils of some kind. Kazator, you see them especially because they are the same sort of alarm type. You get the sense, and as you look up, you do see, oh yeah, that's a slot where something could come straight down on top of us here. What do y'all do?
Are you able to get rid of the magic again in your special magical way?
I can.
Do you think it would be wise to?
Real quick, would Kisator or I know with our Arcana lore knowledge, if we could use a dagger or something to basically scratch out the runes without using magic?
you know that you could do that, but especially for these things that are designed to detect motion or signs of life above them, it'd be very tricky to do it without actually triggering the trap itself. It's possible.
Hit a thing and it just causes damage to the floor.
Alarms.
It's more concussive than anything else. I don't think that. Honestly, K-Store, I think if you can spare it, our safest bet would be a dispel.
Please.
Lauren, if looking at this, is it something that I think if triggered, the danger is over and we could pass, or is it going to block our way or reset itself?
Make an investigation check.
Well, that's good. Investigation. Dang it. 17.
17. Still decent. You get the sense that it would be disarmed for a short period of time after it was triggered, and you don't know exactly what sort of trap it is, what exactly is going to be coming out of the ceiling. You don't know if it's going to be targeted or if it's going to be more of a splash effect.
I know it's a slot, but I just don't know what's coming out of the slot, right?
Right.
Whether it's a liquid or a wall or blade. Okay. Where are how high up is the slot?
About 20 feet.
How thick? Could I put an arrow, like literally stuff it?
It's
Or
a
would it-
bit larger, a bit too large for an arrow
Okay.
itself to just stop her up.
Lauren, is there, like, the floor and the walls we see, is it hot marked as if like acid burns, knowing blacks are acid?
Make a perception check.
16.
You do find some evidence of pitting in the floor and on the walls, where there does look like the stone has been eaten away by acid or something similar.
Any traps that we find in here, I would imagine, would trigger something that a black dragon would be immune to, such as acid.
We don't have much time.
We don't.
Okay. I don't have a creative solution. I will cast Dispel Magic again.
Right? You go ahead and cast the dispel, and the runes almost sizzle out. Make a perception check for me. Actually, no. Who has passive perception above a? Hold on. Where'd this go? Come back. 14.
Me.
Okay,
Right.
so those of y'all with passive perception 14 or above hear a slight clinking sound of like metal moving against metal as the dispel takes effect. The runes sizzle away. The path remains clear.
Where did it sound like that came from?
It was hard to pinpoint. You didn't see anything. Almost like a couple of coins just shifted.
Keep your eye out. It might have actually moved the trap to somewhere else. I'll move forward slowly.
All right. You continue moving forward. As you are making your way through, just give me a general dexterity check to see how stealthily, how well you can do this without disturbing any of the treasure.
Everyone?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and have everybody who's walking through here do that.
Modified 20.
That'll be everybody.
Oh, goody.
Wait, did you say dexterity?
Dexterity.
3.
14.
Okay.
5.
Val?
23.
5 for Solix, you said?
Really?
All right, Halberd.
What, 20? Modified?
Modified 20. Okay. Solix and Doran.
Hey,
The two of y'all are tired. It's been a long day. It's a stressful situation. You get about 2/3 of the way through the room, and you just, Doran, you stumble. Solix reaches out and tries to help catch you, and you stumble into him. You step slightly, just a little bit off the path. You clink into some of the coins. You slip and try and get your feet back under you. You manage to regain your balance. You hear a little bit of the shifting of the metal. You hear that sound again of coins almost sliding against one another. You don't see anything happen.
All right, well, let's get out of this room.
All right, you get to the other stairway, and you see the stairway is blocked. There is a stone door, a solid piece of stone that extends from the ceiling to the floor. On it is written a series of symbols in Draconic. Kazator, you recognize these because in this particular language, they describe a word that activates a magical item, or some sort of keyword or password. There is a carving on the door, finely worked, of a small dragon. You recognize it to be a black dragon because of the signature horns that curl around. You recognize this specifically because you have just seen a young black dragon and are very familiar with the sort of physiology. And then sort of hard to make out. There's a space, a series, as though there's a room for another word set below these other symbols on there.
In the stone.
Set in the stone.
I will try speaking in Draconic the name Dresvina.
As you say the name, there is a light that seems to glow from the door itself. There's a brief rumbling as the door is lifted and pulled into the wall, and the stairway descending opens before you.
Nice.
Let's go.
On the road again. We are blowing through this.
Just
map.
for my own curiosity's sake. if
No,
I'd
we're not.
said It worked.
This is not good.
So what?
I said for my own curiosity's sake, if I had said Dresvina in common, would it have worked?
That is a good question.
Ah.
For my curiosity, was there any cool weapons in that room that I was looking at?
Oh, there were beautiful weapons of
Maybe
all
that's
sorts
why I
of
slipped and
varieties.
fell like an idiot.
Scrolls. There were scrolls.
There were
Whoa.
scrolls.
We're so
Wow,
timid.
so many cool
I was having
things that we
flashbacks to
probably
Cape
wanted but
Graveyard.
can't touch. So many shinies that we can't have but want.
As you
what?
descend into the stairway,
We may come back.
y'all see.
Nothing. Keep going.
You'll see a smaller room. There, it is bare. It is empty, except for a doorway, freestanding, right in the middle of the room, set about 5-6 feet away from the wall. Just a door frame set in the air. There is a door, wooden, that is dyed a dark reddish color with a brassy doorknob. And that's not actually what catches your attention. As weird as it is to have just a doorway, not set into a wall, not really leading anywhere, just a doorway, what catches your eye first is the pedestal that is right next to the doorway. Because on this pedestal, there's a glowing book.
Wow.
It is very familiar to y'all. You recognize it. This is the same sort of journal that you see from your sanctum. The book is opened. It is glowing. You see hovering above it an image of an elven man in his late middle age, it looks like. His face is weathered and worn. There are wrinkles around his eyes and his mouth. His hair is tied back in a dark sort of low-hanging tail with white and gray hairs mixed in through it. This is not a face any of y'all are familiar with, but it is hovering almost holographic above this journal.
Help me, 11th hour. You're my only hope.
Okay.
I didn't hear the joke.
Seeing
I don't
that,
know.
Val is running straight to the journal, not touching, but he's running straight to that journal.
You run to the journal. It looks to be something from your sanctum.
Point of order, have we been climbing a tower or going down into basements? I've been a little confused on the maps.
We climbed
Bit of
ladder.
column A, bit of column B.
We
Rad.
climbed up. We took a secret tunnel up to the Dragon Girls lair,
Secret tunnel.
and then went across the room, and now we're going down a different tunnel.
Okay.
You get the sense that if the floors were numbered, you came in through the sewers in the basement level, you went up to floor 1, to 2, to 3, to 4, took a long winding staircase up to about, we'll say 8, went down, that's where the girl was, down to 7 would have been about where the Malafont was. 6 would have been the treasure hoard, and now you're right in the middle of the tower, this room number 5.
Shinra Tower got nothing on this place.
Right. Hey, at least it's not the water temple.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Looking around as they go to the book, just on the walls or anything like that, is there magical symbols that I've become all too unfortunately familiar with on this trek? Or are there things that stand out, slots that shouldn't be there, things that look bad, things that hold death and destruction or torturous means, things that would be out of the normal if this were a normal place?
Make an investigation check.
As he does, I'd like to be checking the door.
Modified 20.
So it
Modified
doesn't-
20.
Good to hear you, Jordan.
Go ahead and make an investigation check also, Kazator. Halberd, you find an area, you've seen several of these now, where it looks like a secret door is inset into a wall, where the stonework is uneven enough. And you've seen Doran pointed out, he's given you a little bit of an eye for spotting some of these with how he talks about them and how they're built, and given you the history of how these sorts of things are developed, that you can recognize there's a door here that leads probably into a larger space. That would make sense considering this is such a small little area of the tower, and the floor above it was significantly larger, so there's got to be more room here somewhere. And you think you found what might be the doorway to get into there, but you don't see anything that would signal how to open it. You don't find anything that would in particular lead you to find a latch or anything of that nature to get there. You do not find any traps. You do not find any particular arcane markings. It seems like this is sort of the heart of the tower, and to have gotten past all of the defenses would be a singular task.
I'd like to look at the door, specifically focusing on my 2 kind of arcane areas of expertise, runes of either binding or teleportation.
Okay. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
12.
12. You do find some runes.
Arcana is 14.
14. Okay. So you do find some runes. And these are sort of related to both of those areas. You get the sense that going through the door is a way to go to somewhere else, another, like a demi-plane, or a sort of, you see things that remind you of like when you were repairing the bag of holding with Master Corey, and you see some of those symbols that describe that sort of space, some sort of extra dimensional demi-plane, essentially. And you find some of the binding agents here that you would guess would mean that whatever is within that sort of plane is not free to go in and out as they please, that there's either some key or that the door itself would essentially lock behind itself. Does that make sense?
Wait. I'm sorry. Say that part one more time.
Seems like it's a one-way door,
Mm-hmm.
unless you've got a
Or at
specific.
least it can't be opened from the other side.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah, more of that than that it's necessarily one
That's
way.
exactly what I was thinking.
Seems like a prison.
Can't get back in here unless I let you back in, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so delving into Val's Sanctum history, does any of this look familiar to him?
Make a history check.
I feel like we're about to start taking
21.
quarters.
21. In some ways, this does remind you of a Sanctum and how the interplanar travel. And in some ways, this reminds you a little bit farther back of a sort of place, a prison, essentially, where you could toss something and leave it be and come back to it when you're good and ready. It's a little odd because with the sort of journal opening a plane, and you get the sense looking at the journal itself that this is open to a very specific page, and that the pages itself of this particular journal are stretched almost to a new capacity, that there may be more than one space here, more than one plane that this journal is trying to keep corralled. As you're looking at it, you can see the wear on the journal, where the leather is worn and the pages are starting to tear and is looking aged. And you know this is odd because these journals are inherently magical artifacts and don't damage like normal items would. And so to see that sort of corruption almost and that sort of damage on an item like this means it's unstable.
Mm-hmm.
And is going to be a risky.
All right.
It's not able to sustain it for long.
Yeah, I'm gonna try something. What happens if I turn a page?
You turn a page of the journal, and a different face starts to hover in the air above it. Or this, where before it had been an elven male, now you see a human female, younger, maybe mid to late 30s, with a red hair pulled back, dressed in very sort of rough garb.
Val, is this?
Looking at the journal real quick, does it look like every page has this, or does it look like there's only a couple? Do a couple of the pages look worn, or do all the pages look worn?
The journal itself is looking worn. You get the sense that if every single page, every single physical page in the journal was tied to a different demiplane, it would not be able to sustain itself. It would just collapse and not exist. You guess, based on the level of wear, that there are multiple, but not more than a handful.
Okay. Halberd and Quesator, would you two post on either side of the door? Solix and Dawn, if you would be in front of the door in case anything untoward rushes out. I will only be able to hold these doors open for a little bit at a time. There are prisoners in here, and we need to...
Can't hear a word.
We think this is an arcane prison. That basically, people are being held in these extra dimensions.
So basically,
Okay.
what I'm saying is, Halberd and Quesator are going to post on either side of the door.
Yeah, we'll be in front,
so that-
right?
Yeah, so that when we open the door, they can rush in and grab whatever they need to, you and Soliex will be right in front of the door. So in case when we open it, anything rushes out, we've got the 2 shield tanks there to deal with it. I'm gonna be operating the book.
Okay.
So,
Cool.
Wesley, how close are we to Marine breach protocols here? So does it look like they can that Casator or Halberd could open the door themselves?
It's a door. There's a door handle. You can open it and
that's
close
what I was
it.
getting at with the door handle. All right.
If whole group's being defeated.
The very first thing I'm gonna do is flip through until we find and see if I find Liren.
I'm gonna ask Jazira to guard the stairway coming down.
I'll do that. I'll keep an ear out for sure. And so she heads over and starts keeping an eye and an ear up, glancing over her shoulder at what y'all are doing every so often, and then returning her attention to the stairs. Val, you flip through 2 more pages, and then you find Liren's image starting to hover above the journal.
All right. Go for it.
I'll grab the door. And I'll
You grab the door.
open the door.
You open the door, and through the door, you see a swamp. You smell the brackish water. You hear, off in the distance, sounds of a struggle, a fight, clanging metal, shouts, screams. You hear a sound you're very familiar with from your studies. You hear a dragon's roar.
Huh.
How far can we see in?
You can see 30 or 40 feet in before the swamp itself starts getting
How far away does
blocking
the
your view.
the scream sound?
It's close enough to hear. It's far enough where you can't see it, and it's fairly faint. If it wasn't quite so loud a combat, you would have more trouble perceiving it.
Does this world
So
familiar?
several hundred feet at least.
Okay. I am going to say, Halberd, follow. Everyone else, wait 1 minute, and I'm going to run.
Okay.
As I'm running, I'm going to say, Halberd, stay back a few hundred feet within your range, within your bow range. And I'm double dashing as fast as I can.
Okay.
Start double dashing.
Fairly quickly, you come upon the scene of this combat, and it takes you aback at first because you see Liren and you see Tyrek and you see 4 other individuals that you have never seen before, and you see the form of a huge black dragon. These scales have lightened almost to a bluish purpley form. The horns itself are yellowed with age. You see where Tyrek is pulling Liren away, where there are fresh acid scars over half of her body, where the dragon is being distracted by the others who are fighting it. Very quickly, this scene is falling to pieces before your eyes. This is a group in a bad situation.
I would like to pull out my arrow of dragon slaying.
Okay. I'm going to have both of y'all roll me a perception check real quick.
I messed up. Sorry, guys. 24.
Halberd?
20.
20. All right, both of you, you look at this, and something takes you aback. Because you look at Tyrek, and you recognize his form, and you look at Liren, and you recognize her, but they are both younger than you have ever seen them.
It's a memory. We found a memory.
Oh shoot!
Where
Time travel.
this dragon is doing these things, but you realize the wind is blowing the wrong direction. Where there's almost a lag between where the acid is hitting and where the actual effect of it is. Where the faces of the other people are almost blurred, where it's hard to make out the details. What are y'all doing?
I'm going to call out, and I'm gonna yell out Liren's name.
All right, you yell out Liren's name, and there's a brief hiccup, almost like a glitch, and then everything starts going right back around. Liren herself starts almost looking around, trying to grab at Tyrek and pull him closer. And she is so wounded she can't maintain it at this point, where the acid scars are fresh and new and eating away at her skin. And you realize she even if she could have seen, her face and that whole side of her body is just being eaten up.
Did the Liren that we see react when he said that?
Yeah, she grabbed at Tyrek, and then she tried to almost start looking around and couldn't.
Okay. I'm going to run up to her, and as I'm running up, I'm going to cast Heroism on her. All it does is really make her immune to fear and give her some temporary hit points. I don't know if it's going to do anything, but I'm going to cast Heroism.
That's actually not a bad idea.
Okay. Roll me a charisma check.
Yeah.
I should have higher charisma as a bard, but I don't. Here we go. What is with the 6s and 9s? 12. No, that's it. That is 9.
9. Okay. You cast your spell, and you see for a brief moment almost a stiffening of the shoulders and a picking herself up, and then feeling for Tyrek, and then hearing the screams and the sound of the dragon and the combat, and you can look over and you can see where one of the adventurers, one of these other people, has fallen and is halfway into the dragon's mouth and being eaten alive. And there's a moment where you can see Liren like pause before this is just all overwhelming her again.
I'm going to
Okay, quick
camp
question
out.
is when we were in Mordecai and Sanctum, and we met the guy that said he was from the library, and we went through that room that was like laying on
That's where it was. We were trying to figure that out.
Is that basically kind of a very similar vibe to what I'm getting here? Like that the room is causing it essentially. It's not an effect on Liren, but it's an effect on from the room on her.
That would make a lot of sense, yes.
Okay.
Except in the orb with Avenar, the room that you passed through, y'all couldn't see what everybody else was seeing. It was not an illusion that you could sort of take part in.
Right.
But you can very clearly see what's happening here and the scenario of what's happening here.
As I get up to her while I'm running, how far have I come from the door?
You're guessing probably 400 or 500 feet.
As soon as I get to her, I'm touching her in dimension, going straight back to the entrance. If I can get out, I'm going out.
You don't quite make it out, but you make it, you're 10, 15 feet away from the doorway itself. You see where it is being held open. Halberd, you see how Kazator has just grabbed Liren, and you've seen this arcane energy. You're very familiar with it. You've seen it before. He's just gone. What are you doing?
I'm booking back. I know where he's going.
Okay. Kazator, there's a brief moment where Liren feels this and starts struggling against you, trying to shake you off and pull you off. She's screaming out for Tyrek and these other names that you don't recognize, you've never heard before. And she's trying to you feel almost where the damage against her skin is bleeding and oozing and is just slippery in your arms. She's trying to...
Wow,
Do I see them through the door?
You do, yes. All of y'all see Kazator appear with Liren in his arms. You see her struggling against this.
I rush in, I grab Liren.
I'm helping him.
I pick her up.
Trying to get her through the
I
door.
post up at the door.
Y'all go ahead, make athletics checks. You're pulling her through. You're getting her through this doorway.
Individual or one with advantage?
Let's have both of y'all, because both of y'all are doing this.
Okay.
Shut the door before
Natural 20!
Athletics,
With a -1 strength, but bardic proficiency, so 20.
24.
24. Yeah. Y'all, I mean, y'all are hyped up. Y'all are pulling in. When you're sort of struggling with this, you see Halberd starting to appear again in the distance. He's booking it this way. You're pulling Liren out the door. Just a couple of seconds later, Halberd is coming out too. By the time you are out, Liren is just collapsed in your arms, not even struggling, not resisting, just
she still
sobbing.
Looks bloody and stuff. Like it's not an illusion.
As soon as you get out the door, all of that disappears.
Okay.
The wounds themselves are gone. They seemed illusionary of some kind. She is still distraught. She is beside herself, but she's no longer struggling against you.
Has Halberd made it through
Second
yet?
level cure wounds on her.
Fairly quickly, Halberd comes out, yes.
Guys,
You go
Lyra
ahead and
Mini
do
is
cure
on the
wounds.
board.
Go ahead and roll that.
So Lyra Mini is on the board.
That's not good. That's fine.
We got her.
I'm immediately
9 points of healing.
as soon as Halberd's through, and I make sure I'm sure the door's not going to lock him in there. Val's going to kneel down and wrap his arms around Liren and just start trying to calm her down.
Okay. Go ahead and make a charisma check, Val.
How did I know? Natural 20, so 19.
Okay.
I really need skill or something.
Not 20 on our negatives. It's good though.
Yep.
This is the
Okay,
time.
so
I'm gonna go
Halberd
secure the
is out.
staircase. What's her name?
With Jazeera. So you head over to
Yeah.
the staircase with Jazeera.
Yeah.
You hear Liren's cries starting to subside as Val comes over, and with the healing that Kazator has done, and the as Val is just embracing her and talking to her and trying to talk her down, she's mumbling and she's muttering under her breath. She's like, not again, not again. This isn't real. This isn't real. Just breathe through it. Breathe through it. We can, you're not real. Not real. Not again. Not this time. And she's starting to control herself and control her cries. What do you do?
So kneeling down in front of her, I'm going to put my hands on both sides of her face, touch my forehead to hers, and in her mind, it's over. It wasn't real. You are safe now.
So
I'm here.
I'm just curious, does she know you've got telekinesis now? Or would that totally freak her out?
Oh, she's used to me talking in her head because I've been doing sending.
I was gonna say, and it's a mental thing that's plaguing her, and so he's getting to the source of it to calm
Okay.
her.
That's what I was
Like-
thinking.
Oh gosh, we just sent her.
No.
Like, ah!
Val,
Exactly.
as you reach out and you make mental contact, you're taken aback a little bit because when you make contact with someone, you get some sort of sense of their state, and you can feel Liren's mind is just overwhelmed with psychic pain. That this is where a lot of damage has been done, and you can feel it just echoing and reverberating around in her mind. And as you're speaking into this and you're trying to reach her and to calm her down, there's a shockwave almost that goes out at your words, and there is a moment of silence in her head. And it's like when you burn yourself and it's so cold for a moment before you actually feel the heat. There's that moment of wait. And then you start feeling, and you have that same sort of hanging moment where you're waiting for the other shoe to fall and it doesn't fall, and you reach out and Val?
Yeah.
Tell me you're real.
Very much so.
Her hands reach up to where yours are on either side of her face, and tears just start pouring down her eyes. You're here.
How does she look physically? I know Jordan cure wounds into her. His door helps cure wounds. How does she look?
Physically, she is worn and she is dirty. Her clothes are ragged. She is barefoot, and you can see scars on her that she didn't have before, but they are all scars. They are wounds that have been healed. You're pretty sure that the greatest damage that has been done has been from these illusions and this psychic pain, this trauma that she's been through in her mind.
That's what I thought. I'm gonna cast Calm Emotions.
All right. You go ahead and you cast Calm Emotions, and her body that you hadn't even realized had been stiff and resistant, even though she wasn't actively struggling anymore. Everything just goes limp. She just goes loose. She just is holding on to your hands. Her eyes are still streaming tears, even if she's not actively crying anymore, and she's just, Val.
Found you. You're all right.
While all this is going on, I would like to pull Val and Howard and Casator and Doran sort of away from them. Let him calm her down, and I'll pull them.
Yeah.
Aside,
I've been at the door.
and I'll say we need to leave. But do we take this book?
Yes, we do.
We take the book, but we cannot leave the others.
We cannot bring them out here, though. It's not safe.
Right.
It's not safe to leave them in there either.
Right.
No,
Right.
but if we
this
take
is,
the
this is what I'm
book,
saying.
we should have access to them.
It
We
may
take
be
them-
safer to let
We
them
don't
out.
have time to go in there and fish out every single person.
Well, there's only, Lauren, you said there were only like a handful, right?
There are a handful of others, yes. I
there's
will
only three
say
of them.
one of the things that you notice is between the page where so you had the elven man and then the human woman and then another couple of pages and then you found Liren. One of those pages wasn't actually a human. One of those pages was a dragon.
Oh,
Close the
that's good to know.
book and put it inside your box.
Here's
now.
what I'm worried about.
Casator,
Yes.
as you were going through and studying the runes, you did note something. It didn't seem particularly relevant at the time, but you did see the journal is connected to the door with the pedestal and how the runes are situated. You get the sense that removing the journal will remove access to it'll basically break the connection with these planes.
That's what I was worried about.
Do I get the idea that the doorway could be recreated and the book is the key, that is the more important part, or that if that connection is broken, it's lost?
Make an Arcana check.
Real quick, because that's
Yes.
exactly what I was thinking while he's pulling that.
But Val, you don't know this. Casator is the only one who has investigated this.
Right, I understand that, but would Liren know, because obviously she can hear us talking about taking the book or not. Would Liren know all this?
She's mentally distressed.
Irrelevant. She's also.
Am I smart enough to know any of this?
Doran, you have not attuned to the item yet.
Dang.
Casator, what was that?
With my knowledge of this, do I get advantage?
I'll say yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead
yes.
and go for it. Why not?
Woman.
Why not?
Oh, that made a big difference. 17.
Ew.
From
17.
8 to 17.
You get the sense that the setup here is intrinsic. While the journal provided the foundation and the sort of ability to gather these demi-planes, once the connection is broken, there is nothing anchoring these planes to the journal.
Okay.
And Liren is too distraught at this moment to be paying much attention. She
Okay,
is
fair.
not super attentive to what's happening around her. She is still under the influence of calm emotions, but that minute is, and it only lasts a minute, right? I remember that right?
How much? Flipping through the pages, Do you recognize anyone in there?
Does anyone? Do
I
any
was
of us
just,
recognize?
you're gonna ask the blind woman if she recognizes.
No, I'm asking
Does-
anyone in this
does
room,
it-
including
do any-
Jazeera.
Do any of us recognize any of the other faces?
Jazeera comes a little closer. It's been so long. I can't be sure, but and she flips to one of the ones you hadn't seen yet, and two past where Liren had been. And it is a half-elven man. And Halberd, this one catches your eye, and Kazator, because in some ways it resembles one of the figures that had been in Liren's memory. One of the other adventurers that had been fighting this dragon. It's like, he looks familiar. I can't remember. It was so long ago. But this might be Kino.
Keanu Reeves.
God, I hate you so much right now.
How did you know? How did you know his name? Have you met him?
No, I'm sorry.
He goes under an
Psychic damage
alias
right there.
now.
I'm so bad at derailing.
Is that his name?
He used to travel with Liren and Tarek before everything fell apart.
Look through. Is he the only other one that you recognize at this moment?
Jazeera sort of flips through. Yes, and it may not even be him. He died. We thought he died. It can't be him. Just
We can't make him that.
We can't waste or spend all of our time here either.
Which is fine, but there's only looking through the pages. There's only what, 3 left?
Did you get that?
there are 4 people and the dragon.
Can we tell what color the dragon is?
So I'm sorry. Is that 4 people, including Liren, or after Liren?
After Liren, there are 4 people still with the faces in the book. The dragon was a black dragon, and from what y'all could see, it looked like it was a male, with the style of the horns and the musculature and the shape of the features. Halberd, especially, being studied in this, would know.
She's her mate.
All bad.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly.
It's all bad. We can't.
Is it
We
to our benefit to release him to escape from this tower?
Say that again, Jordan. I couldn't hear you.
Would it be to our benefit to release him to escape from this tower?
I don't know. I don't know who any of these people are. I don't know if they're actually.
obviously at odds with whoever's in this tower because
No,
they've
that
been
doesn't mean
imprisoned.
anything.
They've been imprisoned.
We don't know that. We know Liren has been in prison. Other than that, we don't know anything about this. We don't know if the dragon in there is actually part of someone that she's with. We don't know if they have a connection back to this place. We don't know because this type of magic is far beyond what we deal with on a regular basis. What we do know is we have Liren right now, and we need to go before this place gets overrun and things fall apart. Because we can spend our time here and try to bring everybody out, but then we have to guide them through the tower, and we don't know if they're wounded or not. And we also don't know if we're bringing our enemies into this plane itself.
But that's part of what I'm saying is if we've already got to take Liren back through the tower, that's going to slow us down. We need something. Our distraction is already gone, and the guards are coming back.
know what
Anything
else will slow
in
us
this
down?
doorway has been
Is-
trapped there and cannot get back.
What else will slow us down is if we bring an enemy through these gates that we have to try to fight here and now.
I definitely do not want to release another dragon.
I'm with you on the dragon part, but the potential for allies is too great, and the last thing that we want to do is leave. We can't leave them high and dry. Now, if we want to assess after we walk in the door before we bring them out, that's fine. But we're not going to just leave them and abandon them. If you want to take Liren and
I want to
Go
take
ahead.
Liren, I want to take the book, and I want to take you at this moment in time.
we're not leaving without at least checking.
Check. Then let's check. Go to the first one. Open the door.
The first one was the old man, right?
Jazeera,
Yes.
the one that Jazeera knew.
We go to Kinu first.
Yeah,
Kinu.
So
Okay,
let's-
Sator, you move in first. I'll come behind you.
Kinu, we open the door. What do we see?
You see a dark cave.
oh, that's creepy.
Is there a rock on the ground?
Hello, 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 hello.
Essentially, you shout into it, and there are echoes. There are rocks on the ground. It for all intents and purposes, it looks like a cave system.
I'm picking up a rock and casting light on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I'll cast light on it, and I'll throw it down the thing to illuminate down, and then I'll walk up to it, grab it, and just keep throwing it and move up that way.
Okay. Within about 100 feet or so, you see the sort of tunnel area open up into a wider cave, and at the far end of the cave, there is a pond area, a lake essentially. It opens up, and you can see a figure of something moving, shifting under the surface of the water, sort of diving away from the light. Huddled against the wall of the cave, you see this thin, emaciated form, hair mostly fallen out, wrinkles on his face, hands filthy, dirty, clothes ragged and almost falling off of him. This half-elven figure. You recognize the face.
As I look at the surroundings, do I see the same shifting? Does this seem like another memory, or does this seem like a real place?
Make a perception check.
Don't trust you guys.
Right.
15.
15. While Kino himself is real and present, the motion under the water is a little vaguer, where the ripples don't quite seem to meet to match the sound of the water moving.
Okay. I will approach Kinu and say, I'll just say, Kinu, my name is Quesito Veritas. I'm here to take you back to Liren.
Liren, that bitch, she left me. She left us. What are we going to do? What? And his eyes lock on yours. Yeah, to Liren. Let her rot. Let her die. Like she left me. Like she left all of us. No, we are good. We're fine. We're good. We don't have to go. Don't make us go. Don't make us go. Don't make me go.
Lovely to meet you, Gollum, and I am going to leave the cave.
I was sent in on a dadgum rescue party. You're coming out whether you want to or not.
If he doesn't want to come, I'm not going to make him. He doesn't seem to be very happy with Liren anyway, so we'll just get out of there, and I'll relay that to the party extremely quickly. And
Jazeera.
Jazeera. Sweet girl. She liked the cookies I made. Sweet girl. Little gnome, so young, such a bright star.
She misses
such a bright star. Jazeera, no, but she's dead too.
No.
She's gone too. They're all gone. Gone.
Waiting for you.
Gone. Oh, on the other side. They all wait on the other side.
On the other side of the door. I'm going to reach down my hand. All you have to do is come with me to see your friends one more time.
With me if you want to live.
I don't. But it hurts. It hurts out there. Do I have to go?
But it's far worse in here.
Don't let it eat me again. I don't want to be eaten again. Don't let it eat me again.
No eating, no chewing, no gnawing. Just come on with me and we'll just get out to the door and you can give little Jazeera a hug.
Jazeera. She liked my cookies. I baked the cookies. They were sweet cookies. She smiled so prettily. She thanked them. Such a nice girl.
Picking him up.
You start picking him up, and he's moving a little slowly. You get the sense that he's not quite in his right mind, that he's had some trauma he's been through. But you escort him through the door and out.
My intent is to get out well before them, and if Liren is in any kind of state, I'm going to ask her if she remembers him. and we'll just start with that. Does she look like she's in a state to be able to respond to a question, or if she's still pretty?
She's calmed down. The calm emotions has worn off at this point, but she's not hysterical anymore.
Right.
Where she's sort of at this point, looks like she's kind of numb.
Sure.
Like she doesn't really believe that's what happening has actually happened, but she's not fighting it.
Is she able to communicate, I guess?
She's sitting fairly quietly. You could go and you could talk to her.
Okay, I'm just gonna go and say, Liren, do you remember an old compatriot, Hinu?
Kino, we traveled with Kino. We were runners with Kino.
He's been trapped like you. We are rescuing him. It seems like he may have some hurt feelings towards you. I think it would be best if you didn't interact until we can get out of this tower.
No, but Kino died. Kino died. When we left, Kino died. They all died.
Just like everyone thought you died. We're going to save who we can. Everything's okay. And I'm going to look at the rest of the group and just be like, doesn't like her. We got to keep her hidden. Basically, I just want to keep her out of the way of him so he doesn't like Miracle.
She, can we move her by the stairs?
Mm-hmm.
And I'll take my cloak and just kind of drape it over her.
I'm over upstairs.
Jordan, can you protect her? Sorry.
Sorry.
Just out of curiosity, did Liren ever tell me about him?
Actually, probably, yeah. At some point, she probably.
Basically, what I would want to know is, would I know what he specialized in?
Kino would have specialized in unarmed combat.
Awesome.
Yep. Okay. I'm gonna have to keep calm emotions ready for everybody.
Yep.
Means you guys are gonna have to be on rescue duty.
Yep. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna flip to the next page.
I'm not even out yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought
Thanks, yo. Well, we're stuck. Screw you, Val. I said this was a bad idea.
Sorry, I'm gonna wait for Halberd to come out, and then
All right, Halberd brings Kino out.
I'm going to have him turned away from where I last knew Liren was, and I'm going to call Jazeera before I exit the door.
As you're approaching, you call Jazeera over, and she comes over, and her eyes are really big, and just like shocked surprise, like she can't believe like he's actually alive and in front of her. It's like, oh, it's been a while. Kino, come have a seat with me. Why don't you? And she just sort of helps to guide him. She takes another cloak, small, out of her pack, and tries to start wrapping it around him. And she takes him over to the side, and she's glancing at y'all. It's like between y'all and Liren, and then with him, it's like, how are we going to get everyone out?
I'm going to look at her. I'm going to lock eye contact. I'm going to smile, and I'm going to point at him with my middle finger, and I'm going to get ready to go to the next room.
Okay.
I'm flipping the book to the next not dragon person.
Okay. So for brevity's
sake, I'm not opening the dragon doors.
All right. For brevity's sake, we'll say that y'all can go ahead and you can pull out the other 3 individuals. So there are 5 total. There's Liren and Kino, and then the elven woman, or the elven man, and the human woman, and there's a dwarven woman also, who's been captive here. So you can go ahead and you can pull them out.
Are any of them familiar to our little gnome friend?
None of the rest of them are familiar.
Okay.
Val, get on the line. Get in contact with Rissa.
I'm calling Rissa and saying,
Hey, guess what?
so all those people you thought were dead, not surprise. No, I'll be like, Rissa, we found more than just Liren here. We found Kino and 4 others. or 3 others, 4 others, whatever it was. However many there are.
Lyra, Kinu, and the others.
Thank you.
Yeah.
3 others. We're going to make our way out of the tower. How are things looking?
Things are starting to die down out here. They're falling back. You don't have much time left.
Okay. Be prepared. We're going to be coming out in a hurry. And if you can, search for a safe place to watch the balconies. We may be coming down that instead.
We'll do our best. Be careful.
Oh, by the way, do you have anyone who knows transportation spells? Besides
I can.
Besides you.
Of those of us here, I'm afraid I'm the only one.
Well,
All right.
who?
All right, just stand by. We're coming.
Val?
You get a summon sending stone message back pretty quickly. You feel it almost buzz with an incoming message.
Where you at?
Val, if you need me to come and get you, let me know.
How many
so,
people
there's
can
so
she
many,
get out?
There's so many wards. Yeah, how many are there now?
This is the count.
A lot.
200.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. A lot. No, there's 11 of us. We'll find a way.
The true 11th hour has begun.
There finally was!
This is the 11th hour.
Oh my god. All right, I'm gonna as soon as the last person's out, I'm grabbing the journal.
Thank you guys. You can go ahead and just make out the check. I'll be in my trailer.
Right.
All right, so you grab the journal and remove it from the podium?
Yep.
All right, as you do, there's a flash of light. Who's holding the orb?
Me?
All right, you feel a strong incoming sensation, and the orb that you are carrying in your pocket or your pack starts to vibrate and heat up, and there's a sort of a whoosh as what you sort of get the sensation that when the sort of demi-planes, these extra dimensional spaces, were unanchored, the orb essentially attracted them and ate them.
Oh.
So these demi-planes are you think sort of attached to the orb itself.
Okay, I just had a brilliant idea.
Where'd the
We have a
orb come
dragon in
from?
an orb.
Confused.
But I did have a brilliant idea. How much, with the time that I've spent kind of getting in and out of the orb, how much control do I have over accessing that initial sanctuary that we had?
You still have very little. You've only been in twice, and you've gotten lucky that it's been the same place both times. But there's no guarantee that you're going to be able to go back to that same space when you go in.
You
know that
exactly
there are 3 entrances, and you've only been to the one. Avanar did tell you that there are 3 different ways in.
Right, but
Did we just send a dragon into a plane, murdering a whole bunch of people?
no. It's trapped in a pocket. That's fine. What I'm thinking is we have 5 prisoners that I can open up the orb, put them in, and then we make our way down, and then we can reopen the orb. Even if it takes multiple tries to find that, there's only 3 entrances.
If that's the case,
We have a
I
bag of
could
holding
put
for
all
people.
of you in and dimension door out of this entire tower.
You're following what
We-
the problem is I have to be able to I have to open and close it because I'm attuned to it.
I can take you with
So
you.
right, exactly. So you put everybody else in there, and the 2 of us
Everybody,
can
me
get
and
the
you.
crap out of
We
here.
have a bag of holding for people.
We have a bag of holding for people. Also, speaking of bag of holding, 1 floor down is a freaking gold hoard.
1 foot up.
Sorry.
Let's go piss off a dragon.
As y'all are
can,
talking,
We already killed
you
its
do
daughter.
hear a loud, like, shrieking bellow echoing down the stairwell.
okay, screw that
Ready to
idea.
move, ready to move right now.
Everyone
we
in the
just-
orb.
All right, I'm opening the gateway of the orb.
Okay. You go ahead and you open the gateway. It takes an action, 6 seconds.
All right.
Roll
put
a
my head in.
D100 for
Don't
me.
even bother. Don't even bother.
No, because of the other two, I need to know
We're
to
so
have a place
boned.
that I'm least familiar with. What did you
So
say? I'm sorry, Mark?
boned.
Roll a D100.
82.
82. All right. You open the room to sort of an orrery. Do you know what that is?
Not a clue.
Okay. It's an empty room. You see constellations and moon and sun painted on the sky, and you see a control mechanism to sort of calculate the motion of the stars and the moon and eclipses and things like that. Think in Avatar, The Last Airbender, the Library of One Two Tom. You remember
that's
where
exactly what
Sokka
I'm
went?
thinking.
That. Something very similar to that.
Okay.
That's an orrery.
Fair enough.
Star, Sun, and Moon. That was a door off of the
Ah.
main one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, off of the main one in the private sanctum in the cathedral. There's a Star, Sun, and Moon.
Yes.
Thing.
Yes. Okay. I'm comfortable with this if you guys are.
Let's go.
All
We
right.
don't have time to go.
Everybody go into the orb now.
We're putting everybody in except for Quesator and Val.
Okay. Everybody heads on in. It takes 10, 15 seconds. You hear a shrieking cry that starts more draconic or starts more human and becomes more draconic the longer it goes on. It is loud, it is angry, it is getting louder as you are transporting people in there. What are y'all doing?
How many now that it's just Val and I, how many rooms away was the treasure?
1. It just had to go upstairs.
Val, let's run and I can book us out if it goes bad.
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
We're running up to the treasure room.
All right, you run up to the
That's what I was thinking
treasure
about.
room. 10, 15 seconds, you feel the tower starting to shake around you, where the noise
Whatever.
is. Go ahead.
I was gonna say whatever scrolls I can grab in about 3 seconds.
And I took the bag of holding from him, and so I'm just scooping.
All right.
Give me
You'll be
some
able to
good
make
weapons.
probably 2 passes with just scooping the bag of holding. And by the time you're finishing the second, Kazator, you've grabbed, roll a d4 for me.
Come on, baby, big money. 1.
Okay. You
risked
pause
3 on
for a
the way
moment.
out.
You're frozen in indecision. You see a number of these scrolls, and you pause, you freeze, and then you it's getting louder. It's shaking. You grab one and you go. And as you are booking it to where Val is finishing scooping up the last one, you see this woman in this beautiful black dress. Already claws are extending her eyes light on you. She says, "You."
I am diving.
And you see her start to transform. Her form starts to grow. Acid is starting to spray from her mouth mid-transition.
I am
Y'all are diving
as soon as
together.
I touch him, I'm going. And I can target a specific place. I'm targeting the entrance where we came up through the sewer back into the sewer.
Okay, make me a concentration check to maintain your concentration for the spell as you're in this very, very high pressure environment.
Dude, of all times.
No one tell him which one to pick. This is his.
If I fail the concentration trick, yeah, that's what it is. If I fail the concentration check and the spell fizzles, is the spell slot consumed?
Yes.
This is my last spell slot for this. Because I used one to get Liren out. What is this? A concentration?
Concentration.
Oh, wait, that's
Wait,
It's a
am I
constitution
touching
saving
him?
throw.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I'm wearing my cloak of whatever.
Can I guidance?
You may guidance.
Oh,
You get a D4. Add a D4.
I didn't think she's gonna let you in this little time. Okay, hopefully this D4 is better.
I'm holding your hand. I'll never let go, Jack.
I'm just imagining this slow-mo, my turnaround dive.
That's a
lay
bad
out.
example. She did let go.
I reach out, I touch him. what is it? Constitution saving?
Mm-hmm.
12.
You needed to beat a 10.
Oh!
You got it. So you reach out.
Golf clap.
I rolled
you
a
grab
7
him.
plus 3
Golf
plus
clap.
2 4.
Golf clap.
You grab him. You feel divine energy guiding your hand, focusing your mind. Val, you feel a hand on your shoulder as you're preparing to head out, and it is warm, and it is a brief smell of mint that fills the air. As you are transported out, you see a spray of acid flying at your face, and then y'all are gone. You emerge from the dimension door. You had your destination in mind, right by the sewer entrance. What are y'all doing?
How
Book
far
it, son.
How far away are we from the Bahir?
Time out. Entrance, like at the end of the tunnel where we came in, or where we came out from inside the tunnel? Which one was it?
Basically, we were coming through the sewer, and then we came up to that hole where the guards were. I'm putting us back in the sewer.
Okay.
Okay, so right at the bottom of the
Yeah,
latrine,
outside the
essentially.
tower, right into the, yeah.
Yeah, so we're covered in crap. I'll
Risk.
take that over acid. How
And
the
far is
dead
that
body.
from the Bahir?
80, 100 feet.
So okay, so the Bahir probably, I'm assuming it's still awake. It's awake now.
Y'all are out of the tower. You hear voices in the guards overhead echoing down the hole. What are y'all doing?
Down the hole or upstairs? Up.
From the tunnel above.
Yeah. I mean, I think we're booking it at least till we get to the monster thing. And I'm going to, knowing Val's thing with close spaces, I'm casting heroism on him.
Do you
Very
have a spell
nice.
slot left?
Huh? Yeah, it's just first level.
Oh, okay, cool.
All right. So Val, you are instantly transported into this tight, dark space. You feel the walls closing in around you. Your breathing starts to pick up. Kazator puts his hand on your shoulder. You feel your breathing ease. You know that you're safe here. You're with friends. It is dangerous. You're not done yet, but you are so close.
No time
You
to
pause
freeze
for a
up.
moment. You hear the voices from overhead. You're waiting. You're listening, trying to hear if you hear any of the sounds from the creature you'd seen before in the tunnels. You don't hear anything at the moment. No signs of movement.
All right, Kistful, let's move.
This tunnel is too small? Like the dragon couldn't fit down here if it wanted to, right?
The dragon
The
could not
woman
fit into
could.
this tunnel.
Okay.
Soliex had trouble fitting through this tunnel.
Right. Okay. So Val, should we move quickly or stealthily? Probably stealthily until we get past the whatever that was.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
By all
As y'all
means.
go through the tunnel, you're moving slowly, you're moving quietly, you still don't hear anything. The voices are starting to fade behind you. You're paying very close attention to what's ahead, where this creature was lairing. You get to where the cavern opens up, you look around. You don't see anything. It looks like this creature has been called to perhaps deal with any interlopers.
Oh, that teleportation circle,
Or whatever the circle was.
or whatever that circle was.
The
I
point is,
couldn't
it's
use
not
it
there.
anyway.
Go.
Yeah,
Go.
book.
Y'all are heading out. You go back through the tunnel that you came through. You're heading out into the entrance. It takes a little while. I mean, this was a 30-40 minute walk when you were going slow and quietly, but y'all are squeezing through. You're managing to get it 20-30 minutes later. You'll emerge into the forest. Make a perception check for
I
me.
was just gonna say, can we check before we emerge?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Perception. 26.
26. You peek your head up around. You pause, you listen, you look, you're waiting. You hear distant shrieks of a dragon. Looks like it's flying overhead around the tower, trying to spot where you disappeared to, trying to find where you came out. It's not looking in this area yet, but you do see the form flying overhead, just circling through the area. It's probably best to find cover or to get out of here as quickly as you can. You
All right,
don't
staying
know,
inside,
but you know that they are
staying
going to
inside-
send people out searching for you.
Yeah, staying inside the
Wow.
tunnel for just a moment. I'll pull out the sending stone again. Rissa, we we've got everyone out, but we may have also pissed off a dragon.
We can see that from
Yeah,
where we're at.
my
Yes.
apologies. We will talk about that later. Right now, we're at the entrance of the tunnel. How the hells do we get back to you?
Can she get us now that there's only 2 of us?
Yes. Oh, also, there's only 2 of us now. We've got everyone else in a pocket dimension. Long story. Can you come get us safely?
Safely is going to be the question.
Or would it be better for us to make our own way?
If you are in no danger immediately, it may very well be better for you to wait, to take cover, see if you can't bypass the patrols or anything. The dragon overhead, if you can remain hidden. Jazeera may be able to guide you through the woods. She is very gifted in passing through there. Your friend Halbert also, I believe, has great skill in passing through this. If they can help guide your steps, you may be able to make your way back.
What?
We got like Dumb and Dumber over here.
About that, so they're both kind of in the pocket dimension, and it would take time to get them out again. And we don't want to alert anyone to our presence. We'll contact you here in a minute. Are we still covered in poop?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you are. You haven't taken time to.
Crap.
Yeah, I'm gonna assume that that's gonna help cover us. How far away does the dragon look?
Would that help cover or would it help track?
Oh, poop's poop.
She knows she's tracking poop.
He's going full predator.
Yes, but with poop instead of mud. How far away is the dragon?
At this point, it's circling slowly overhead, and it looks like it's into an ever widening spiral around the tower. It's focused on the other side of the tower for now, where it seems like most of the distraction had taken place. It seems like that's where its energy is focused. You see her every so often just spitting sprays of acid, trying to melt the trees over in that area, just burning the ground, trying to find what she's looking for.
All right. And how about looking for distance at this point? 100 yards, 200 yards, 500 yards.
Probably 500 yards, give or take.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit
30
farther.
to 45 minutes of traveling through a tunnel. It wouldn't be that far, but okay.
You've got an hour and a half back to Rissa, right?
Say between a quarter and a half a mile. And yeah, you've got a ways to go through the forest to get back to the town.
Yeah, Kisatol, I think at this point it's in our best interest to haul ass.
Let's go.
All right, we are doing the booking of it.
All right, y'all are booking it. Make a, because without your ranger here to guide you, traveling through the thicker forest like this is difficult terrain. So you're going to be moving a little bit slower. And if y'all are trying to go stealthily, it'll be slower still. If you're not going stealthily, you can go a little faster, but you may be a little noisier.
I'm gonna say book it until we think the dragon's getting closer, and then we'll slow to stealth.
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, so y'all are going. You're booking it. Make me a survival check.
Yeah.
17.
Survival. That's only 15.
We all the way home.
It's only a what?
15.
15. All right. That's okay. 15 was what you needed to find the path that you had taken, sort of following your previous footsteps. You'd been paying attention to Halberd and to Jazeera and to the road that you had taken and trying to learn how to make your way back through. And it's harder going this time without them there to show you where to step and how to move. You're a little slowed down, but you're making as fast a speed as you can, sort of rushing through the underbrush and trying to get some distance away. By the time you're about half a mile or so away, you feel the dragon has started moving a little closer to you, but not gaining on where you're at. Make a perception check.
Modified 20.
Modified 20.
17.
You're 17?
Yeah.
Okay. You're pretty sure you've given it the slip. All the energy is still focused behind you. You haven't seen it getting closer overhead. It seems like where the distraction crew was is where the primary energy has been focused. It's starting to get quieter. You're hearing more and more the panting breaths, the pounding of your heartbeat as you're traveling at speed through the woods as fast as you can. But you think you're safe.
Yeah, we're still gonna just keep moving.
Yeah.
All right. You go ahead, you travel for the next 20 minutes, 30 minutes. The next hour, you're starting to get closer to where the town is at. 20 minutes after that, you emerge where the forest is starting to thin. You can see the lights of the town in the distance. You start heading up that way. You reunite with those who are left at the inn. And that is where we are going to go ahead and pick up next session.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Look at the cojones on YouTube.
Hey, Lauren, during this time where we're just sitting in the Pokeball, could we be taking a short rest?
Hey, that's great.
If you want to take a short rest, you can take a short rest in the orb.
Yes.
The two people who took no damage this entire time.
Hey.
This was a good decision.
Except you almost got KO'd by acid.
We're practically gods.
Yeah, I would love to
Goldfish
take a short
mode.
rest in the
Activate.
Pokeball.
Oh. Man, I'm gonna go bald after this.
Well, man.
Not gonna lie, I forgot that the connection was gonna break when we took the book, because if we hit too much trouble as we were going, I was gonna text Lauren and be like, "Hey, I'm stealthing at the back of the group, and if I need to, I'm turning around and releasing a dragon." So interesting.
Oh, that would have been fascinating.
We have enough dragon
I
issues.
was gonna text Lauren and be like, "Hey," if she was gonna end it like right at the beginning of the battle, I was be like, "Hey, can we do a single, just a mini session, me and you, where I go talk to this dragon?" I'm either gonna die or release a dragon, probably, but
Oh, that would have been fascinating.
see if
But
I
no,
can-
y'all made it out. You survived.
yeah.
I want to know how much gold we got.
I know.
I don't know what my
want
scroll is.
that
It's probably like a scroll of identify.
back. I want
It's
my
another
bag.
rubric for me.
I'm hoping it's a teleportation circle.
That'd be cool.
It's an introduction to curse words and infernal.
Well, something interesting enough for a dragon to hoard. You'll have to spend some time investigating what loot you got to see what it is.
And Jordan,
Oh,
you
yeah.
had time to get your little circlet
I
thing.
do the short rest so I can get smarter.
Yeah.
Do the short rest. You are now attuned to your headband of intellect.
Jordan is so
I'm
smart now.
smarty
So-
britches.
So Garrett, you
Hey,
just
what?
went, I believe, from the lowest intelligence of the group to the highest.
Oh, I know it.
Now here's
And
the
I'm
thing.
still dumb.
This
So it's great.
This is what I'm looking forward to, is Garrett playing Smart Doran. This is gonna be
Because
amazing.
Doran's super smart now.
Doran's going to be making all sorts of connections and remembering things and thinking new thoughts that he never would have thought before.
And the best part is the player's not smart.
Garrett's like, I gotta pay attention now. Dang it.
Damn it. I actually have to engage now? Be attentive? Wait, who are you people? But anyway,
Oh, you foiled
No,
my
this
dastardly plan.
this is rad.
Oh, this is
So-
amazing.
So, Garrett, what's the saving throw on your new stuff now? What's the DC?
So,
Like 16 or
well,
17.
hold on. So that went from blah, blah, blah. Where's the book? So I was at an 8, and you said it goes up to a 19?
Yeah, so that's
19.
plus 4.
Yeah, so that's plus 4. So the saving throw is a 5 because I have the rock of luckiness.
No, for your.
No, what's your DC for your rune now?
Oh, I didn't know that's what you were saying.
Because
Yeah.
not only do you
Uh,
plus 4, you
8
actually gain
plus
6 because you have a
proficiency.
-2.
Plus intelligence.
Plus
So 8 plus
The
3
15.
plus 4. Wow.
15.
Shit.
Hey,
Oh, it went from a 10 to a 15.
Too bad I've got like no runes that need that yet.
You do.
Your
But
fire,
you will.
your fire rune does.
Oh yeah,
any
you're
of
right.
the
I'm a
DC for your
liar.
fire runes and stuff. The
Cool.
rune stones are going to use the same DC, but we haven't gotten quite there yet.
Sweet.
Do we feel
Dude.
stronger?
So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know-
What? Who's the stronger?
As a matter of fact, you did.
Did we just level up?
You leveled up.
Waited so long.
Oh
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
While we're still on here,
Yeah.
we need. Can we roll hit dice?
Hit
Go ahead and roll hit dice. Technically, these will come into effect when y'all take your next long rest, but we'll go ahead and roll it now.
Oh my god. How do I do this? I don't remember. It's been so long.
Oh,
Nice.
God.
Val?
Oh my god, I'm so happy.
I rolled the wrong one. Anyway, say it.
1d10 plus.
I'm having issues here.
Remember, when you want re-roll ones, so if you roll a 1 on your hit die, go ahead and re-roll it.
Raisin.
8.
Oh,
Nice.
Oh, wow, 7. Wow, this is a good one. 10, 8, 7.
thank you for your
Yeah.
reminder on one. I was about to be really sad.
That just jumped me up to 92.
I got another 13 hit points, baby.
Nice.
Oh, we look
Yay.
Okay, Satori, what'd you get?
Well, I mean,
Oh.
8 for you. multiple.
Okay, I rolled 7 and 8 the last 2 times, so
But
it's,
I'm taking
It evens out.
I got resilience for
I'm
constitution.
at 70,
Yes,
which
you
is
are,
pretty
baby.
good
My
for a bard
constitution is
this
going
level.
up by 1.
Yeah.
So
I
7
got-
and 3 now.
Guys, I got 5th level spell.
Yay.
Remember, it'll come into effect when you take your next long rest.
That's
No,
Guys,
I'm taking a nap now.
avoid
What are you on about?
Everything at all costs until our next
We're-
long
we're-
rest. That
we
way
are
we don't have to go back.
No, this is like literally next step is pull
Oh,
you guys
man.
out of the Pokeball and long rest.
Shoot. Shall we end this and wrap this up?
Let's go ahead and do that. So thank you, everybody who tuned in to join us today. We really appreciate it. We had a blast. I hope y'all enjoyed it too.
This was a good one.
Take
I was
care of
so
yourselves.
happy when we got lyric.
Excuse
Oh,
me
so
while I
happy.
update
Yeah.
numbers. Holy crap.
Oh.
No, but stay safe, stay healthy. Remember to love your neighbor, and we will see y'all next week. Bye.
Love you guys.
See you later.
Bye.